Okay, hello. We are Jeff, Darby, and Jacob from the past.
Yes.
Given the reins from Jeff, Darby, and Jacob from the future. We are time travelers. Confirmed. Well, gentlemen, we are about to talk about all the 2019 games that we have confirmed right now. So chances are some of these might be delayed out of it. Some of them might not, but this is what we have going right now for 2019 in general. So we're going to kind of get a hype check on a lot of the announced games for 2019 right now.
Yeah, the way we're going to do this is something me and Darby have done for every 6 months, pretty much, just every half year.
Which, Jeff, just FYI, our podcast is about to span over 3 different years.
Yeah.
Don't let it set in.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah, so the way this is going to work, we're going to go down the list of games. I'm going to go by release order at first, kind of do that, and we're going to talk about how we think the games are going to do, how we think the game is actually going to be, like as far as it being good or not, and if we're going to buy it or not. Or a mix of those, just depending on the game.
Yeah, we'll just have a general, casual, nice discussion on all these different games. They can take as long or as short as things.
And since they're feeling not that many release orders, I'm pretty much putting in every other. After that, I'm putting every game and going to talk about them in alphabetical order that have a confirmed release date for 2019. They may not be in the first half. We might be talking about them in the same segment again in 6 months, but we'll just do it now. And I'm kind of, for the most part, unless someone brings it up, kind of not putting in indie games for the most part, just because that's a lot of games.
That would be our whole podcast.
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's
just the way to do it. And afterwards, we're just going to talk about our individual top 5 games we're looking forward to next year.
Yeah, and just to show how not safe a lot of these are, I looked at last year and Jeff was like, my most anticipated game of 2018 is Kingdom Hearts 3.
Hey. They had a confirmed date at the time. And it's not that far after 2018. We got a month to go, baby.
It's not.
So yeah, let's get started.
Let's do this.
First game, Mario & Luigi's Bowser Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey.
Let's start this off with a bang.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard people like the Bowser Inside Story games. I don't know much about them.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it at all.
Every time I see the art style, I'm like, it just doesn't look for me.
Yeah.
And I just have no interest in pulling out my 3DS.
That too. Mario & Luigi games look fun, but yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure it will sell fine, or at least as far as Nintendo thinks, since it's a remake. So it's not like it's a brand new game.
Are like 3DS games still selling like stupid amounts now, or is it starting to slow down?
I'm not sure about games necessarily. I mean, they're putting out the small games, so I guess they're probably doing well enough for Nintendo's like projections on what they want, maybe for some of them. But yeah. I mean, we've been hearing stuff and been kind of small, but 3DS still selling decent considering the switches out and all that.
Yeah.
So
it's just one of those. I'm just like so far past the 3DS that I don't even think about.
Yeah, I'm sure it's still super popular in Japan.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure.
And I'm sure they probably still sold a good amount because they have the deals like the new 2DS XL and all that kind of stuff. We count that in that family like for $100 or something, or that kind of stuff for Black Friday.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there are people buying those for the library, and there may be some people like, oh, my 3DS is old or whatever, so I'll just pick up this so I can at least replay games later.
Yeah,
I mean, that's probably what I'm going to do.
We shouldn't underestimate the 3DS is very cheap, and there's a lot of them already out there. There's like already everyone has a 3DS, even if it's been in the closet.
I mean, and again, if you're going into the 3DS line now, that's a great library. There are plenty of great
To
games.
be honest, I mean, like I kind of like shit on the 3DS a lot just because I'm like all for the Switch and I want to keep going forward with that. But especially for someone trying to game on a budget, if you want like cost versus the amount of good games in the library, 3DS is probably like the best console for that.
Yeah, especially since the games are cheaper to begin with, and then a lot of the best games are kind of older and on sale, and generally, for a 3DS/2DS, hold up pretty well visually and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Especially gameplay.
Definitely.
So.
Easy to be cynical, but the 3DS is a very good console for a lot of people. So.
Yep.
But I'm not interested in this game.
Something more people will be interested in is New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, which also comes out January 11th. Nintendo's releasing those Mario games on that day.
Yeah. Did you play that game
I did
originally? Not. Okay. Do you have any interest in picking up this?
I have some interest, but I mean, it's one of the things I got to be honest, especially once we get, you'll see why, especially as we go through January. I'm not gonna play this anytime soon. It's gonna be more of a thing if I feel like getting it. It will be way down the line.
Yeah.
And if it'll be more of if I'm in the mood for a 2D Mario. That said, if Mario Maker 2 comes out, or they announce that, or Mario Maker for Switch, my interest for this evaporates instantly.
Nintendo can only get you on one or the other.
From a money thing, and Mario Maker that's infinite content.
And especially like Mario Maker is the one that you can bring around friends, and it's just like Smash Bros and Mario Kart and stuff. It's like, oh, you hand it to your friend, he makes some insane level, and then you try to play it. It's just fun.
Yes. And as far as this, this game's obviously great, so we know that.
Yeah.
Sales wise, I think it's going to do for like a lot of the Wii U ports, surprisingly good. Especially since 2D Mario games sell. I mean, it's weird to think about because we're always talk about the 3D Marios as being the greats, as far as like since the N64, but 2D Mario tends to sell a lot better.
Yeah, I think definitely if you're buying like a game for a kid, like most parents see Mario and they're like, oh, that's perfect.
Oh, it has multiplayer? Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if that's because like I would think whenever you hear the fact that the 2D Marios sell so much more in the 3D, like my first reaction would be this is taking into account like the old 2D Mario games, like when that was the biggest thing ever. But like no, that has stayed.
No. They're talking about games.
Yeah, I know that's stayed true even like into the Wii U era, and even after like the 3D Marios that are like huge. It's just weird. Like I just kind of wonder who are the ones buying the 2D Marios instead of the 3D Marios. Like if it's just the Mario name, then it seems like both would sell evenly, but I don't know. Those
that's
2D
why
ones do sell a lot.
That's why when we talk about Mario Odyssey being the best selling like Mario game, the asterisk is we're talking about 3D Mario games.
Right. Yeah.
So
I'm definitely a lot more interested in the 3D ones, but I just grew up on 3D platformers.
Well, considering Super Mario Odyssey, I put as my number one game ever. You know where I stand.
Jeff, this next one.
Yes, Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition.
Jeff, we have to make time to actually play this game. We gotta force
me and you, Darby.
We gotta force ourselves to make time to play this game.
Got to pre-order getting on the Switch. No reason that doesn't run fine/great on there.
Yeah. Jacob, have you ever played any of the Tales games?
I've never played a Tales game. There's something about Tales' art style that is off-putting to me.
It's not great.
Yeah, but
yeah.
I know Tales of Berseria is really good, and I know Tales of Vesperia is also really good. So I'm interested in like diving into them and picking up one.
Well, you may have heard this, but just kind of maybe some motivation to push you over. It is co-op, so you and Celeste can both play.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how me and Jeff, we played all through Tales of Xillia and Tales of Xillia 2, and I think that was the only two me and you played together.
We played some of this. You jumped in when my sisters played for this game.
Yeah, I played like 10 hours of Vesperia with them. We played a little bit of Berseria, and it's a lot of fun to just, like, I think we've all played a lot of JRPGs, but it's kind of interesting playing a JRPG with someone else.
Yeah.
And like going through the story and like, especially with the Xillia games, there was a lot of story decisions and everything that usually you'd be making on your own, but it was kind of fun for me and Jeff to debate back and forth, like, oh, what should we do? What should we do?
Right. It is like a turn-based RPG, right?
No, actually.
Okay.
It's like, I mean, Jeff could probably explain it more. I mean, it's like, it is action. Like
it's real-time action. You're controlling. You're pressing A for regular attacks. You're using your B moves to use arts, and you set up B, for example, to do one art, side B, normal.
Okay.
Down. So
you can do kind of spells and stuff that you would normally
arts,
see.
Yeah, or spells as well. It just depends. Some of them are more like fighting / swordsman based, and then some of them are just straight up, spellcasters.
Okay, yeah, I was wondering how a co-op game would work with like a turn-based JRPG, but it makes more sense.
I wouldn't say it's exactly a blend of it because there's really nothing turn-based about it, but it kind of has that feel just because, like, oh, I'm gonna do this spell now, against this type of enemy, or do the, there's some strategy.
And you have like I can't remember the exact words. You have the HP like thing going on,
right?
And you still go into
or at least a lot of them.
You go into a battle screen like you would with a turn-based thing. You can just move around in it,
right?
So
it like kind of like, I don't know, this is a pull, but like kind of like Parasite Eve in that sense.
I haven't actually played Parasite Eve.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, that I don't know. I think you might like it, but it is like they are also very, very Japanese JRPGs. Like usually to the point where like I wouldn't like these games normally, but I've liked the ones I've played, and just playing it with Jeff is very good. You know.
Yeah, I mean, my tolerance for that sort of thing is inconsistent at best.
He watches JoJo.
Yeah,
He
so
watches
it
JoJo.
depends. You know. There's some things I'll take and others that I'm like.
I mean, I think JoJo's probably better written than any of the Tales games.
Oh yeah. Well, I will say this: as far as story, you're more likely to like Vespera once compared to others.
Okay.
At least as far as the protagonist and all that stuff goes. That is where. Yeah. Okay, next one: Onimusha Warlords, January 15th.
This is
I
kind of
know
one of
what you
those
say
like I'm happy for the preservation of games, and people are really into this, and this was like a time in gaming and everything. But obviously, I just didn't play it.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't play the Onimusha series either, but I am excited about this
Yeah, okay.
port. I'll probably pick it up.
Nice.
Since
Okay.
it's $20, and yeah, I like to go back and play these old games, these old classics in a new, fresh coat of paint for people.
Yeah, no, it's awesome to just go back and see like kind of a moment.
Yeah,
in
and
gaming, like-
apparently these games are like really good and really like have a very rich art style.
yeah.
So I'm excited for it.
I mean,
so
I think
you're
Onimusha is one of
putting-
those.
Yeah, you can put me down for that.
I think Onimusha is one of those that has inspired a lot of other things too. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
I found the $20 thing. Yeah, that'll help it sell.
yeah, that's smart. That's very smart.
Yeah, because like January is pretty packed for me, but like I could definitely pick up a smaller game that is $20 versus another big game that's $60.
Yeah, and even if you don't get to it for a while,
It's
spend
there.
$20.
Next game: Ace Combat 7: Skies Unknown, January 18th.
It's probably not going to be a day one for me, but I am really interested in this.
Yeah, I'll put you down.
I-
You down anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I played a number. I haven't played an Ace Combat game, but I played a number of aerial combat games, and they are quite fun.
yeah.
Well, if you do get it, bring over when we try those PSVR levels.
And this is like, I mean, it's like a jet flying game with a story, right? I mean,
Yeah.
they had like a story trailer.
Yeah, and this game is like what I've seen of it like is really interesting because it's very realistic. It's like real jets, but it's in a fictional like world.
Yeah.
Like all the countries are made up, and like it has that realistic look to it, but it's all very obviously Japanese designs and story notes, which is something that I think is really interesting.
It's an interesting mix.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems like I played like I think 2 different PS2 Ace Combat games, and I was a little kid, so I was mostly just flying the jets around and crashing them. Didn't know what I was doing really. But it seems like this one is going more for we're keeping the like the plane physics and all the like realistic aspect of that, but we're trying to make it more of like a video game, more of like we're telling you a story, and we're kind of like making it more of an entertainment piece rather than like a simulator.
Right, and I'm excited.
Which
for
is
that.
interesting. It's an interesting twist on that. Instead of just the planes, it's like, oh, we're gonna try to tell you this narrative.
Yeah, and
I
I
love
hope
it.
it's really kind of over dramatic and campy.
That's what the trailer seemed like.
Yeah.
So.
It gives me kind of Metal Gear vibes, which is
Yeah.
what I'm excited for.
Metal Gear.
I'm sure there'll be some people who'll be like mad that it's veering off into that direction, but
Well, boo.
as someone who never would have bought the game if it was just a normal plane flying thing, I'm all for it.
Yeah, and I'm sure the multiplayer will be fun too.
Oh god, yeah. Fighting each other in jets and planes and stuff. Cool.
Moving on. Traffic Strikes Again, No More Heroes, January 18th. Let's go.
Yeah.
Obviously, I talked about it. I'm getting this game. They put in the news thing, so I'll just talk about it here. They had a live stream this past week, and with Suda51, and he announced the DLC plans and all that kind of fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Announcing that you're gonna get 2 more playable characters, Shinobu and Bad Girl, which if you played No More Heroes, you know who these people are. And also announced that all the original voice actors for these characters are coming back.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is a nice surprise. And
Because it's been a while since the other No More Hero games. So.
yeah, like 2010, 2002,
Wow,
maybe?
yeah.
Or 11, something like that. So that is exciting, and he Suda's talking more and more recently about it. Sounds like he has plans for No More Heroes 3. So hopefully this does well enough to where that's a
So, just a question, just for the conversation. Is any part of you worried about this game just because it seems like a very different concept for No More Heroes and potentially kind of just a stopgap in between before the next one? Are you worried that because it also like if I'm remembering right, it's the different. This is kind of like broken into like different.
Yeah, like 8
hypothetical
different
indie
games. Yeah, worlds, video game things where each one of them has like a kind of different play style for it and different bosses and all.
Is there like an overarching narrative or something between
Yes,
all of them?
yeah.
Okay.
Pretty much, this is in the opening trailer. Travis and Bad Dad, I think is his name, who is Bad Girl's father, who's trying to get revenge because Travis killed her. They got sucked into a cursed gaming console and have to go through the games and get the death balls to make a wish. So it's pretty much Dragon Ball. They're collecting Dragon Balls.
Yeah, this just seems like something that might be like gameplay centric, and then just kind of the narrative is just a side thing to it, which might be fine. I just don't know.
I think it'd be. I mean, I am a little worried about just a lot of things as far as, of course, it's selling, and as far as gameplay, seeing like the stuff, good. People seem to have, have fun with it when they play it. I think people have their expectations in check, knowing, hey, this isn't No More Heroes to Suda said as much. This is kind of to help hopefully fund it.
All right.
So I'm excited for it. It seems to have that pseudo charm in it with the story stuff that is there, and I'm happy to have. They seem to have all the voice actors back. So because one of the things when the trailer was released was on, I think his name's Robert Akin Downs, who voices Travis. He was not in the trailer, so people were kind of like really bummed about that / worried about potentially this game. But now they announced he's in there, so that's exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, this game kind of, to me, it kind of seems like the EP a band drops before like the album release.
Right.
Yeah. So
I mean,
So unfortunately, it's the thing of the EP. This is the case of the EP has to do well before the album.
yeah,
that's I worry that we'll never get the album because of this, and I really do feel like a full No More Heroes game could do very well nowadays. I mean, like everything else is coming back. It's like, bring No More Heroes back.
Yeah, and the season pass, the way they're doing it is pretty interesting. All physical editions have the season pass included, I think, because the physical edition is $10 more than the digital edition, I think, because of the normal Switch physical edition stuff. But they decided to make the cost feel like it's more worth it, the extra cost, put the season pass in there for free.
Yeah.
So, which is nice. So I can get a discount on that season pass from Best Buy. Pretty much get that for free, which I am all for.
No.
I am excited for this game.
All right. Cool.
Okay. Next game, Tropico 6.
I mean, I played a little bit of Tropico, but like, it's not a series that I'm super into.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen like gameplay of some of the other ones, and it's like, it's just not my type of game. Exactly.
It'll probably do well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tropico's probably one of those games like, they always do well.
Yeah, I'd see people. Yeah, I know a lot of people like them.
Yeah. Moving on. Also on January 25th, Resident Evil 2.
Yes. This is probably my most anticipated game of 2018.
Nice.
At least for the first half. I mean, it looks amazing. It looks like a top to bottom. It is a top to bottom remake of Resident Evil 2, and it's even though it seems to be bigger and more like, obviously like scarier than the original, it doesn't seem to be losing kind of like the fun camp and silly kind of story of the original game.
Yeah.
So I'm quite excited for it.
That's what like. It was funny seeing like so many people like you and a lot of other people who are big fans of the original game kind of before this announcement saying, like, I saw a lot of people like, it needs to be like the old tank controls, and needs to be like in the old style,
right,
or nothing, or I don't want it. And then the trailer came out and they're like, never mind.
Yeah.
Never mind, this is good.
Yeah, I mean, because I think like people were just so worried that it would be, if it was a third person over the shoulder, it'd be like RE5, RE6, more action, which this is clearly not.
Yeah.
It's clearly a great, take or an upgrade of like the style of Resident Evil 4, where it is actiony, but you're always in danger. You have to be precise with your shots. You can't move and shoot. It's very slow paced in the style of the old survival horror games.
Right.
Yeah, that's why I'm excited for it, even though I'm not a Resident Evil guy. Just, it doesn't seem like a normal shooter. It has that, atmosphere, the horror vibe. It'll just be fun.
Yeah. And that just would have looked really bad. It's like, we're going to go back to one of the old school horror-based Resident Evils and make it like action shooter like the series became, it'd be like, oh come on, you
Yeah.
know, like
We're gonna take the game you love and make it into the games you don't care about
Right.
nearly as much.
Yeah, that would be weird. And it would be weird to see the characters you love, and then it's like, oh, well, now they're like jumping around and shooting zombies in the face like all the time.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, the only thing that I worry is like how the new content in it would like stack up to the remade stuff from the original game. You know, would it fit? You know, is it going to be off tone?
Yeah.
I don't know, but it looks really promising. They'll probably incorporate some stuff from 3.
I mean, have they said like, are they adding that much? I mean, isn't it mostly just the retelling, just with like a little extra stuff?
I'm sure areas are probably expanded. There's probably some extra cutscenes to fill in, like the extra larger areas.
Yeah.
I'd imagine. I know, for example, Marvin, who's the African American cop that you see in the trailer. You know, he's only in the game for like the first 5 minutes, and then he dies. Here,
Spoilers.
yeah, I mean, here he seems to have a much bigger role. You know, I know I saw some trailer where there was like another guy running around the police station who ends up dying. That's not in the original game, so yeah, there's going to be some big significant changes, but that's okay because it's a remake.
Yeah,
some added value to playing it. You know.
Yeah.
Yep. Now, I'm very interested to see how that game sells.
I expected to sell well. Whether it's up to Capcom standards, we'll see because they're weird.
Yeah,
Man, they said for a while Monster Hunter World's sales weren't up to standard or whatever.
Yeah, dude. Like,
when it was their top-selling game of all time. Yeah, so Capcom's weird.
Yeah. I'm hoping this game has such an impact that it, revitalizes horror games in a way that, Amnesia kind of did back in the day.
Yeah, I feel like horror games are something that, like, everyone has horror games that they enjoy, but, like, the genre in general just doesn't sell as much as you think it would.
Yeah, or it kind of latches on to, like, a trend, like, Amnesia, the first person kind of run and hide horror.
I feel like with horror games, a lot of it is people like them, but at this point, a lot of people just like watching other people play them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think the trend, like, maybe the trend right now is even what we've done with most horror games we play, like Until Dawn, when we all get together in a group. And Until Dawn was perfect because it's like, it almost has built-in, like, it has the choices and stuff and the different characters, so you could hand it off to different, like, friends and everything like that. Like, I think horror games need to, obviously Resident Evil isn't doing that, but my favorite horror games are the ones that are, like, friends can all, like, get together and do together,
Moving on, the big one. Biggest game on January 29th in America, January 25th for Japan. Kingdom Hearts 3, it is finally coming out. It is happening, I believe.
Jeff, it's real. Someone stole it, so it's very, very real.
It is real, but he got caught, so it's okay.
He got caught. The Disney
Nothing significant has leaked.
The Disney
we know.
police broke his ankles and
Yes.
dragged him out.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Well, I mean, go ahead and put my name.
where's that hype level?
Maximum.
Maximum.
It's happening.
Maximum hype.
Yeah.
Jacob, did you play any of the Kingdom Hearts games before?
I've played 1, 2, and most of Birth by Sleep.
Okay, well, I only played one, so.
Yeah, I'm excited for this game as well. I don't think I'll be getting it day one because Remake is also in that same week.
Let me tell you, Jeff will have this game beat in 2 days, probably, so I would just borrow Jeff's after.
I don't know that's physically
The pressure's
possible.
on.
Jeff will have this beat fast, I imagine. So,
Unfortunately, it comes out on a Tuesday.
yeah, that sucks.
Yeah, but I am looking forward to this a lot, and I hope to play it before the end of 2019. So I had to catch up on some of the other games first.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing with me and Resident. Well, what he's doing in Kingdom Hearts, kind of Resident Evil. I want to play Resident Evil, but it's coming out a few days early before Kingdom Hearts. But yeah, I'm gonna wait till Kingdom Hearts obviously then before I play that.
Yeah.
And beat Resident Evil Remake.
I think the biggest thing here, and from what I've heard of people, I don't think it's really going to be that big of a problem. But my biggest concern with Kingdom Hearts 3 would be that it just feels like a game that was made 8 years ago. Just because, the development cycle has also obviously been a little tortured with that. And I would just worry that the gameplay, like the combat system, would feel outdated. Like, I think the story is going to be a Kingdom Hearts story, and it's going to be great for Kingdom Hearts fans. And the world, it looks stunning. Like, the way it looks, especially, I'm surprised by how good it looks with the development cycle it's had. I kind of expected it to look a little dated, which some character models look a little worse than others, but by and large, the game looks great.
I'm ready.
Nope. I'm very happy for you. I'm going to be happy to see how excited you are. I think I said on Twitter the other day I was listening to the Kingdom Hearts soundtrack and I was just like that soundtrack is so damn good.
Oh,
I was just listening to that thinking like, God, these people are gonna lose their minds, and I'm just so happy for all of them.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts is like a weird series for me because I'm not a big Disney fan and I'm not a big Final Fantasy fan. So seeing those characters together doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah.
But the whole story surrounding it is so weird and convoluted that it does intrigue me, and like I want to see how it is resolved in some way. Maybe not. Probably not.
It's funny. For me, it's the complete opposite. I love the Final Fantasy and Disney people together, but then when I hear about the Keyblade Wars and
your Xehanorts and your Xemnases.
Exactly. Like that stuff, I'm like, oh, this is so dumb, but I love it.
Yeah.
I love it all, so it all works out for me. Okay, moving on to February. We're going to the middle of the month. Crackdown 3 on February 15th. February 15th is a big day, as people know.
And like, if it wasn't for Game Pass, you probably wouldn't hear nothing about Crackdown 3 on this podcast.
I'm putting my name down on it. The way I'm going to do Game Pass games is, if I'm planning on trying it out, I'm just going to go ahead and put me down for it. Yeah, so I'm not going to do that for every Game Pass game.
Which I think as a reporting duty for new nerds at large, you are required to play some of Crackdown 3 to see.
I'm going to be Terry Crews.
Yes.
Like everyone should want to be.
My biggest hope for this game is that it's just a bunch of dumb fun. Like I don't think it's going to be anything that blows your mind, but I'm just hoping that.
I mean, State of Decay 2 and Sea of Thieves sold surprisingly well despite the Game Pass stuff. I mean, I think they were both. State of Decay was number 1 the month it came out. Sea of Thieves was like right up there.
Mm-hmm. There were summer months, but still, I mean,
yeah. But so yeah, that'll be interesting.
There's just going to be a lot of the hot takes about Crackdown 3, just because of how it's been delayed so many times and everything.
It's been pushed as Microsoft's big game, which is the problem. Like if it wasn't for that stuff, people would take Crackdown 3 at more face value and be like, oh, this is like dumb fun.
Yeah, Crackdown 3 never should have had the expectations it had on it, but it's partially Microsoft's fault that it did, because that's been their big marquee thing for so many different shows, so they kind of brought this on themselves. So I think there's going to be a lot of overreaction to Crackdown 3, because I doubt it's going to be anywhere near as bad as some people will say it is. And we'll have to take all of our opinions when we get to there with a grain of salt, because Jeff's not going to be paying any extra money for it. I mean, I think for that kind of experience, I think that Crackdown 3 will probably be a good fit.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. Dead or Alive 6, also February 15th. It's Dead or Alive game.
Yeah, I'm not really interested.
Yeah. It's not the beach volleyball one. I don't care.
Yeah. Boobs are bust.
Yeah, boobs are bust.
Move on. Pick up the pace. Far Cry New Dawn, also February 15th.
I feel like Far Cry 5 is kind of a prerequisite for this.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely.
And I didn't play that, so.
yeah. So.
I mean, I don't know. I'll be very interested to see how it does. This kind of reeks of DLC turned main full game to me. Same map, same a lot of different things.
I expect it to do fine, but
it'll probably do fantastic. Because Far Cry 5 was one of the best selling games of the year. So who knows? I mean,
it's one of those things I don't expect to do nearly as well as that. But the fact that it seems Far Cry 5 is a prerequisite, and we just got that this past year, that creates a ceiling.
Though if I was marketing at Far Cry, for Far Cry 3 they had it's Skyrim with guns tagline all the time. I would have some tagline or something about it's Fallout but good.
It's Fallout without game breaking bugs.
Yeah, I would lead into that in some way. That would be
February 15th also Metro Exodus.
This is I don't want to I can't put myself down as a definite buy, but this is the closest thing to one here. I could.
You got nothing so far. I'm putting it down.
All right, fine. I could absolutely see if reviews are good. If reviews are 9 or above for Metro Exodus, there's a good chance I get it, because I'm just very interested in just the entire aesthetic, and I've enjoyed the other Metro games. I haven't actually played them myself, but I've watched a friend play all the way through 2033. Yeah, 2033.
Yeah, they look really cool. I'm excited for this as well, but I'm not going to get it in February. There's too many stuff out, and it'll probably be a Black Friday thing for me.
And I think that's absolutely fair. Like, I don't really see this game doing all that well. I'm just very interested, and it just happens to be like, as you've seen, we've gone through all these games, and I haven't put down any of them except for Vesperia, I think. So,
which is kind of I think
I
my
might not
mom's
even
making that as like a Christmas gift, so we're not neither of us are paying anything for it. So
there you go. But Jeff,
Jump Force February 15th, the biggest game of the no, it's not. But
I mean, this thing's probably gonna sell really well.
Yeah, these shonen fighting games sell surprisingly well, no matter how the quality is.
And like, this was gonna sell well in Japan anyway, and they're pushing it in America so hard. So
and they're making the roster, as far as the roster so far, more Western, with the character choices.
Yeah.
To maybe its detriment, but we'll get to. You heard my thoughts, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, go back.
This news.
Yeah, we are talking about with
No. There's news for Jump Force, which
right.
we haven't recorded, but it should be before this.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, get to that. I'm excited for it. It'll be fun. I don't expect this to be the best game ever. I've said that since pretty much its announcement. The visuals could look a lot better. I see the Naruto Ninja Storm games. I'm like, why couldn't you just go with that art style?
Yeah, the more stylized look would have been a better choice, probably.
Yeah. So the more realistic.
Yeah, because this is it's somewhere in between. They're like going for realism, but everyone looks a little plasticky.
Yeah, it's like mashing plastic dolls together.
Yeah. But I think I'll have fun with it. There's a story trailer. It looks kind of what I expected. They showed a lot of Light and Ryuk from Death Note in there, just kind of talking to people at the home base for Jump Force. And I'll have a good time with it. And
The Hall of Justice.
Yep, I'll have fun. Hopefully, using JoJo characters against Yu-Gi-Oh characters.
I'll have a great time mashing a bunch of buttons, seeing flashy lights, and getting beat by Jeff and Alex because I never know how to play these games.
Just look at the pretty colors.
Yep.
Alex will spam the world when Dio's announced.
I guess I'll use Yugi. I don't really know any of these characters. I need to watch My Hero. I need to just push through.
Okay, next game, which will probably be one of the biggest games of the year, Anthem, February 22nd.
BioWare sure hopes so. I really think this is a very big deal for BioWare. BioWare needs this to be a hit.
I think it helps because there are obviously big games coming out in the first couple months, but it feels like there's a lack of big Western AAA games of that, like, BioWare's caliber coming out, you know?
Right, yeah. I agree.
Yeah,
definitely.
So it feels... maybe wrong word, but it's where it has a niche that's maybe not being completely filled at the first part of the year.
And it's just like, it just from everything they've shown, I think obviously this game's like going against Destiny first and foremost.
Yeah,
and I think it's been long enough since Destiny, and like Destiny's gone through a bunch of cycles and everything. I think it's a decent time for it to come out. I do wonder, is it going to have the same problems as a lot of games of service where it comes out first and it's very content light? Or, people plow through the first stuff and then it's like, okay, we're just grinding for no reason now, and then they have to wait months and months and months for...
Yeah.
Because, Destiny, it's so funny from someone like myself who doesn't play Destiny, just listening to other people, like, comment and report on Destiny stuff, because it seems like every other week it's, oh, Destiny's horrible and it treats its fans like crap. Oh, Destiny's back. It's better than ever. It's they understand this. And then the next week it's like, Destiny doesn't value its hardcore players. Oh, now it's back. It's like so back and forth with these games.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been into this type of game, but people like love these games. Like it just, it captivates people for some reason. I have no interest in Anthem. I'm a stodgy old BioWare fan, and I'm like, I don't like loot shooters. I have no interest in it, but I'm sure it's going to sell really well because all the Destiny people are going to jump to this and play it for a lot and grind. And, I'm sure it'll do well.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that Anthem can kind of just fund the future, like Dragon Ages and Mass Effects that could come later. I'm hoping that Anthem just doesn't become the be-all, end-all at BioWare, but hopefully it's the kick they need to, get back on track. And they're trying to message that, it seems like. They're like, they know that people like old BioWare and general fans are not exactly jazzed about Anthem, so they're like, hey, we're also working on Dragon Age, like, over here, look at this. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But that's going to be, all the big headlines are going to be like, is Anthem, good enough?
Yeah.
Okay, next game, February 28th, Left Alive. This is a weird one. I feel like we've seen nothing from
Yeah, that's weird that game's coming out so soon.
There has been stuff, but like
There has been stuff. I feel like it's very little and not like marketed well or like in the right places.
Yeah, this game is set in is it the Front Mission universe?
Yes.
But it is not a mech game. You are playing as a soldier or kind of a citizen of the city, and you're trying to survive. It looks interesting to me. I think this game is probably going to get like 6 and 7s across the board.
Yeah, it's one of those games, and that kind of screams PS2 era in a way.
Yeah, the artist for the characters is Yoji Shinkawa, and he was the lead artist for the Metal Gear games. And so I see his style. I like his style, and that's what interests me. But I don't think this game is going to be that great. I think it'll be okay, but not great.
I feel like, again, just because we're going back, I don't feel like this bit is marketed that great. I feel like it's just coming out of nowhere, and no one's really excited for it. I expect it to bomb, unless it is really amazing, which...
Yeah, it's concerning that, this was Game Awards last year, right?
No, I think it was announced like TGS or something.
Yeah, you're right. It was TGS.
So, to an American audience, this means nothing.
But I do want to play this game and check it out for sure.
It's one of those that could be a hidden gem. It could come out and actually be, who knows.
Okay, next game, a big one. Devil May Cry 5, March 8th.
Put me down, Jeff.
Yeah, you can put me down too.
But all three, is that our first all three? I have to imagine, right? Yep. All three of us.
I guess play the demo. I have access to it.
Yeah, Jeff, come on, Nerds at Large Gaming Podcast. Tell us all about it.
Yeah.
No, I'm very excited. I loved the old Devil May Cry games as a kid. I was telling Jeff, I've forgotten a lot of them. Like when I hear other people talk about Devil May Cry, like I kind of almost feel like I haven't played. I played all of them. I've played all of them except for the Ninja Theory or the
Ninja Theory.
Yeah, Ninja Theory one. But I was very young and I've forgotten a lot of them. But they're really fun. They're just dumb fun. They
just
know what
watch
they
a
are.
story recap thing on YouTube.
And this game seems to be full force. It looks like a modern Devil May Cry game, but they're leaning into what Devil May Cry is. And it seems like the creators of this understand the butt rock and the crazy emo stuff. It's good. It's gonna be a good game.
Yeah, it seems like a triumphant fiery return for a really old franchise.
Yeah, it's one of those we keep on talking about the return of Capcom. This and Resident Evil 2 are one of those things. Monster Hunter Worlds continues. So it's that kind of solidifies it. Yeah, it's definitely a game. I'm assuming you get a physical copy. I'll just borrow that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. If you I didn't know what your level of Devil May Cry. I didn't know if you were wanting to play a day one.
I'm not day one. I'm probably still gonna be. Have you seen my January list?
I have seen your January list.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for this because coming off of 2018 where we had a lot of big, very serious games like God of War, Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption. I'm ready for a big shiny game that winks at the camera and is a video game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Devil May Cry is not going to be making you cry.
No, but it'll be making you shout and cheer and laugh.
It's going to be badass. Yeah, and it just looks so good. And I was a pessimist a lot going into, even we were just talking about the theoretical return of Devil May Cry. I was like, I don't really know if that type of hack and slash game is really something we need in 2018. I was like, I feel like that genre's kind of come and gone in a lot of ways. And then everything I've seen from that, I was like, no, this looks like the awesome progression of this type of game. You know?
And I think character action fans are itching for a new big character action game.
Yeah. We had the Bayonetta ports, and that's
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep. Could be a good year for those kind of games. The Bayonetta 3 comes out this year.
It could be,
or 2019. Okay. Next game, One Piece World Seeker. That's a me game for sure. I'm pretty excited for this game. I'm not completely 100% sure how its quality is going to be. It could just be swimming in sevens type thing. But it looks like it could be a pretty solid open world game where you control Luffy. The story seems like it's going to be kind of like a One Piece arc, which could be fun. The visuals look pretty good. Honestly, it's one of those things. I wish the character designs for Jump Force were more like it.
Yeah.
But looks fun. I'll wait and see how it is. This is definitely not a game I'm planning on getting day one unless for some reason I get done with all these other games leading up to it and the reviews are really good. Might be more of a Black Friday thing, more down the line thing, but I'm excited to see how it is. Okay.
Also, Jacob, again, anytime you need to go, don't let us. hold you longer.
I'll let you know.
All right.
Next game, Tom Clancy's Division 2, March 15th.
Yeah, I respect the Division a lot. It's just obviously not my type of game. Like we've kind of talked about.
It's
not mine either.
It's gonna be that Ubisoft game. We're gonna be at the end of the year. We talk about the top selling games. It's gonna be high up there. We're gonna be like, yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
It kind of seems like we're just in an endless cycle. It was like For Honor, and then it was Far Cry 5, and now it's gonna be the
Division 1.
Division 1, yeah.
Or Ghost Recon.
They always release around that same type of year, and just they're the number one selling game until Call of Duty. And Call of Duty wins overall. That's how every year works.
It's the game for like the really just casual audience. They love it.
Yep. Okay, next game, The Sinking City, March 21st. Is a Lovecraftian game, I think.
Yeah, I'm interested in this. You can put me down for that.
Okay.
It is an open
Figured,
world.
main reason I put it in there.
I think this is the one you talked about a few
Yeah.
months ago. On
I mean, the game is an open world horror detective game.
right.
It's made by the guys who made Frogwares is the studio, and they made the Sherlock Holmes games. So this is kind of familiar territory to them. They were gonna make the Call of Cthulhu game that came out in October.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember you talking about.
But it didn't work out for some reason, and so they switched to this. It looks interesting, and it's going to be rough around the edges. It's going to be a European kind of AA game.
Yeah,
but I think like the setting and like the style of it is really intriguing.
Yeah, I remember. The
Indeed.
premise seems really cool.
Yeah, and I know that the Call of Cthulhu game that came out was not the best, so I'm hoping that this will be a little better.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Coming out the very next day on March 22nd, Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice.
Okay, yeah, I'm getting that one for sure.
I figured. I know you
there
said
we
that.
go.
I was like, you say that now, Jacob. Wait till the next game.
There we go.
That's like my second most anticipated game. It's from Software. It looks amazing.
Yeah. So good. So good.
The gameplay looks very different from Dark Souls and Bloodborne.
So I think we can agree, unless everyone is very wrong. This is going to be probably one of the best reviewed games of the year.
Yeah, I think this will
It's
be
going to
nominated.
sell well.
This is going to be nominated for Game of the Year. I would call it that now.
Yeah, I will probably be playing this game for like months.
Yeah,
This will have like multiple runs, different
Yeah,
builds.
I kind of figured this and Resident Evil were going to be the two games. These are the games I'm getting day one, 100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's just so interesting. This is not what I just thought for sure the next thing we were going to see was Bloodborne 2. And so to see like a complete kind of different setting, different gameplay and everything in this, it's cool. I'm not saying it's bad.
Yeah, I'm really happy because I've always maintained that I think FromSoft games, like their Souls games, are always better or are always more interesting the first time around. Maybe not gameplay can be better on sequels, but diving into their worlds for the first time is an experience that they can't.
A little mix up on their combat system.
Exactly.
So if you had it your way, would it just be like a new IP every time? Like
Exactly.
A new place every time?
Yeah. Just diving into the world and like uncovering what's happening is so interesting, and it kind of loses its magic when you have a sequel.
Yeah.
I can kind of feel that from people, just hearing people kind of talk about like Dark Souls, for instance.
Yeah.
People love the games, but they don't talk, I feel like sometimes as highly when each iteration.
Yeah. And I feel like that kind of like subtle environmental and mysterious world building and stuff, like you said, probably loses its effect when you've spent 3 different games over it in like similar places.
Like there's a reason why people continue to talk about Solaire and Gwen from Dark Souls 1 and not characters from Dark Souls 2 or 3.
Right.
True.
Solaire for Smash, right?
Yep. Okay.
It's a legitimately a possibility. A Dark Souls rep in Smash. It's not that
possible.
far out.
But we already have like a character who uses the sun.
Yeah, praises the sun.
We have Solaire.
we have
Solaire.
What else can he do?
We have Wii Fit Trainer. That's all we need.
I think Solaire's more of a
Solaire's
possibility.
amiibo, right?
Yeah, here he has his own amiibo. It helps that he's also a Namco Bandai rep, which only has Pac-Man.
Right.
And yeah, that seems like one of those weird characters, like based on Jekyll.
Well, and you like Sakurai talked about how his team was like so jazzed to work on Castlevania music. They would be jazzed to work on Dark Souls music with the Dark Souls stage. Like that would be that would be amazing. That would be awesome.
Okay, go on to the next game. We're going all the way to like the end of April, April 23rd for Mortal Kombat 11.
You can put me down. I'm just until I don't know. Until I don't even know what. I guess until they release a bad game, I'm pretty much down for every Mortal Kombat like as they come out like every 4 years or whatever.
Yeah.
Because they're just so much fun. Like I just love. It's a great couch co-op game for me, and that's usually like when I have a Mortal Kombat game, it'll sit in my shelf for a long time. But then whenever we have a bunch of friends over and we're cycling through multiplayer games, I always love to go back to Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. You can put me down as well because I'll probably get
another All of Us.
Yeah. That's just where I feel most home in that kind of fighting game. That's the one that I get the most, obviously, because it's the most casual one.
Right.
It's the most like accessible. What are those called? 2D fighters, I guess. Just
because it's like a 4-button fighter as opposed to like 6 like Street Fighter.
Yeah. So I'm so down. I'm very interested to see kind of what the hooks are in this game. Like what are the obviously they did like the old school Scorpion. I imagine that's going to be something.
Time travel.
Yeah.
We'll find out January 11th. Is that right? Something like that.
Yeah, they got to defeat Dark Raiden. So
Yeah.
that's probably going to be like I think the big plot crux to it.
Yeah.
Okay, next game. A couple days later, April 26th, Days Gone. We've talked about it. I don't know how to read this game. I feel like it's going to be one of those games that potentially it comes out, might be better than we think, and then sell also a lot better than we were thinking leading up to it.
I still think the full spectrum of possibilities are still open for Days Gone. Like it could be really like just underwhelming. I mean, I guess the only thing I don't see it being just a absolutely horrible game. I mean, it's still a Sony first party. Sony been's a good studio and everything, but like I could see it just coming out like, and then everyone just forgets about it. And I could see it being like, oh, here comes the 9.8s and 10s, and it's like, oh shit, this game is amazing, you know. But right now, like from all the trailers, I'm with a lot of other people. I'm just not that excited about the setting of those.
Little interest in it.
Yeah. And I mean, I hate it for him. It's just this game just seems like it's 5 years too late.
Yeah, like this game came out. Yeah, if it came out in like 2014, people would be all over this.
Yeah, absolutely. But
that's just something now in people's mind. It's a little unfair to Days Gone, but people are going to have back minds. Well, Last of Us 2 is coming out soon.
Yeah,
that's what. Even if it came out 2 years ago, before Last of Us Part 2 was really like a thing we were like definitively talking about, even that would have worked.
I think zombies are just kind of out of season. Like,
well, next game, Rage 2, May 14th.
I'm probably not getting it immediately, but I am like
probably Black Friday game.
Yeah, but I am very surprised by how much I like how interested I am in Rage 2. Just from the idea of a sequel to Rage, I'm like, no, I'm not interested in this at all. But like, it looks very colorful and zany and like just fun. It kind of looks like it scratches that like Far Cry itch for me, where it's like, yeah, it's not anything deep or compelling or whatever, but like the moment to moment gameplay just looks dumb and fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really interested in it just because its style of humor doesn't really speak to me. But at the same time, I do wonder because I think Borderlands 3 might come out next year, and so those those have a similar kind of vibe going on. So
Far Cry New Dawn also coming out.
Right.
So we will see. Looks fun. It's a game I am sure I am not getting. So
yeah.
Next game, Team Sonic Racing, May 21st. Maybe we can try to speed some of this up a little bit. I don't expect it to do that well. I expect it to, as far as review score, kind of okay at best. And yeah.
I agree.
Now, let's talk about a real racing game, kart racing game. Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, June 21st. It immediately came out, and people wrote off Team Sonic Racing even more than they already did. Sorry, Team Sonic Racing.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I'm going to put it down for me.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. I do have some nostalgia for Crash Team Racing, and apparently I didn't know this. They are adding some tracks from later Crash Racing games.
Okay, that's cool.
So that will be cool, and this will just be a fun thing, a fun kart racing game, which we haven't really had, much of since Mario Kart 8. So
yeah,
I'm very interested to see how this does compared to the Insane trilogy. Like, is it comparable numbers, or is it,
I was about to just say no, but then again, Mario Kart sells so much more than, usually sells more.
Yeah,
than
I mean, part of that is I think Mario Kart is a much more established name than
I agree,
Crash,
but you never. It's more of I don't expect Crash Team Racing to sell more, but like, no, it's like we were just saying, a kart racing game that can appeal to casuals,
and it's on all platforms at launch. Yeah.
So
It's
We'll see.
probably going to be a very big deal. They have
Yeah.
Okay, the last game we have an actual date for. We're jumping a couple months. August 27th, Shenmue 3.
Probably not a day one, but I am still interested in this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, the more I hear about Shenmue 1 and 2, like, the less desire I have to play those games. But, 3 could be better and could, be a big improvement.
I don't expect this game to do well.
I don't know. And, like, I mean, I like playing Shenmue 1 and 2. I completely understand kind of for, like, the history of it. Like, I'd be interested to go back and see just, like, oh, this is kind of what inspired some of the kind of more sim parts of RPGs and other things later. Like Shenmue was very groundbreaking at the time. Obviously, hasn't aged the best, but it's a part of history. But a sequel to that in 2018 is a bit weird unless there's some catch to it, which
who knows.
But also, I don't know if they're trying to please anyone other than Shenmue fans with Shenmue 3. So I don't think I'm supposed to be the target audience that's roped into this.
Yeah, so. I just need to see, like, some solid gameplay.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the games without exact dates, but are, saying are coming out in 2019, but we'll see. First one, Atomic Heart.
Yeah, okay, so that is an indie game. But
I was going to assume you're getting it.
Yeah, it looks really neat. It's supposed to be quarter to 2019.
Okay.
It is set in, like, this alternate 1960s Soviet Union. It is a shooter, kind of like BioShock, mixed with some of the RPG elements from Fallout. And it looks really, like, kind of disturbing and weird, but also, like, fast-paced and just really visually striking, and it's using Unreal Engine 4, so it looks really nice. And I think as far as, it could scratch that itch of a new BioShock-like game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely take a look at that. I don't know who it's by. Again, I think it's like some Russian indie studio, but looks really neat.
From Mundfish, apparently.
Mundfish, yeah.
Loving the absence of BioShock. There's just a bunch of kind of smaller games taking elements of BioShock.
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy, creepy toys, Darby.
Yeah, there's some pretty striking visuals in this game.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a lot of blood. Cool.
Yeah, and it seems to be, and, like, the environments seem to be, there's, like, secret labs with, like, these horrible, like, Russian clowns, and then there's, like, outdoor areas where you're fighting what looks like a giant robot boss fight, so it looks really interesting.
Nice. Well, cool. Atomic Heart.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Next one, Battletoads.
Battletoads.
Putting me down because Game Pass, baby.
Oh, right. Yeah. You have to try Battletoads.
We're playing Battletoads.
I demand.
It's already confirmed 3 players.
I demand that we play Battletoads, no matter how good it is. In fact, if it's bad, then I want to play it more.
Yeah. I mean, it should be fun, yeah. No matter what, and again, it's on Game Pass, and I have that obviously, so we're gonna try it out.
Right. I wonder if we have to wait till E3 to see any of it. Cause we've yet to see any. We just saw
we just saw a teaser. Yeah.
Right.
Probably.
No.
Maybe. We'll see.
Right. We'll see. It's fine.
Okay, next one, Biomutant.
Very interested in this game.
Yeah, me too.
It's kind of like the game we'll get to later, Otherworld. Me was like
Outer World.
The Outer Worlds, yeah. I have Outer Worlds on here. I don't know why I said Outer Worlds. But where if they nail this could be a surprise hit.
Oh yeah, and it's my type of game. Like this 2D mascot platformer that is Darby Hallman.
Wait,
right?
Wait.
Well, it looks like
Isn't it a mascot platformer?
I mean, like with the like little like animal people or whatever, not mascot, but like.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said 2D and that kind of freaked
Oh, not 2D. I meant to say 3D. Is what I meant to say.
Yeah, like action thing. Yeah,
it
I meant
seems to be
say-
like a hack and
I meant to
slash
say
with like
3D.
platforming stuff.
Yeah, you get to mutate your little raccoon man.
Yeah.
Guts the raccoon.
Making them like the character creator seems very, or like the the options to like change your little person seems crazy.
The game has been out for a while, and I feel like we've heard from impressions that people that actually played the game, some at the time, because it was kind of earlier on, was kind of rough but really fun and had something there. So we will see. You should hear about it somewhere. Next game, Bloodstained: Ritual of the Night.
I think there's a very good chance I end up getting Bloodstained. Just
I'm
because
interested.
I've always been. I mean, I should probably go back and play like the Castlevania games that I haven't played. I've like played a little bit of like some of Symphony. And
Or the very least, like Curse of the Moon. I think that prequel thing.
Yeah, it's like $10.
Yeah.
Prequel thing. Apparently,
Probably
it's
been on
really
sale.
good. Yeah, apparently it's really really good.
Yeah.
And everyone who's played Bloodstained loves it.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
It
Maybe it'll
seems
finally come out.
Yeah, maybe it's one of these kind of Kickstarter spiritual successor things that might actually do well.
Yeah.
It might actually like live up to its
Yeah.
promise, because obviously Ukulele and Mighty Number 9.
Well, I'm about to say, you say do well. Yeah, Ukulele reviews come in better, but I think it's sold well.
I mean,
Yeah.
do well as being a good game. You know,
Yeah.
being what you would want from
Yeah.
the spiritual successor.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mighty Number 9 failed in every way.
Yeah.
So
So this game has all the pressure, but I hope it works out.
I hope so too.
Okay.
They've had enough time. I'm glad that they've taken time. I'm glad
Yeah.
they've taken a lot of time to make this game. But
yes, one of the time should hopefully be justified. Next game, Catherine Full Body.
Yes, I'm really excited to see this. I think Catherine is from an outsider. You know, I understand like why this game looks like weird and pervy, but it's not. It's actually a really great, interesting game.
I know and the puzzles are really good. Like it's
Yeah.
really well made.
And it's from the guys who make the Persona games.
Yeah.
And they're adding in a lot of stuff into this.
They're adding a whole new
remake.
Catherine, aren't they?
Yeah, a whole new character, which has big like story implications. I'm really excited for this, and I understand like it looks weird, but never judge a book by its cover.
Good. You want to put
Yeah.
you down for it?
Yeah.
That's one of those games. I've always been interested in Catherine, but then they announced, and I was potentially going to play it. Might be on Game Pass, as far as I know. But with this coming out, it's like I could just wait for this, like see how this does and all that.
Yeah, I mean, I would. I mean, all the new stuff could fall flat, but
Yeah.
I think,
I was, just waiting here, and Fall Flats. I just played what will be the much cheaper original.
I mean, Catherine is a top like 15 game for me.
Nice.
It's really great.
Next game, Code Vein. It's apparently finally coming out
I'm gonna
this
be
year.
totally honest. I completely forgot this game existed.
I did until they did. It's like, oh yeah, that game was supposed to come out in September. Got put back to just 2019.
It might
No
be,
date.
It might be September of the next year.
Man.
Yeah, it just said general 2019, which is probably not a good sign.
I mean, I still think conceptually this game's cool. It's like anime Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's one of those like I guess depending where they want to put it, they don't want to put it anywhere near Sekiro though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm interested in it as well, but I don't see this game reviewing all that great. At least like the last time we saw it. So
Yeah.
who knows? But I am interested in like an edgy anime like Dark Souls game.
And it's so weird. Like I was getting like YouTube commercials for this game. Like they were pushing it hard last year, like leading up, and it was just like silence for.
And didn't it get like pushed back like
Years
a
and
couple
years.
weeks before release or something like that?
It was it was close enough. I remember I was getting ads, and I knew it was coming out like
Yeah.
the next month or something. Like I
Yeah.
knew it was decently
It was very
imminent.
close to it. And it was
That's weird. You usually don't get that close and then delay it a year or like
Yeah.
almost a year.
Yeah, they delayed it. If let's say count in January, that's already like 4 or 5ish months or whatever. But they say 2019. Who knows when in the world it'll come out?
And we have not seen a peep from it as far as as far as I know.
So
like,
that's
since then.
concerning.
Yeah,
That's
who's making that?
Bandai
It's
and Namco.
Bandai, yeah.
I couldn't tell you which team.
Okay. Yeah.
Might be the God Eater team. I'm not sure.
That sounds right. But
It says God Eater like art style and stuff. Next game, Concrete Genie from Sony. We're talking about Days Gone for Sony exclusive and all that. We got Concrete Genie.
What is this game? I always forget.
It's the one with the little boy and he has the magic like brush or whatever, and he paints the creatures on the wall and they come to life and crap.
Right. I need to see what this game is again because I forgot.
It's one of those games. I mean, we don't know a crazy amount about. I mean, I think we mainly have seen like the first trailer and a little other.
I've only
information.
seen that. Wasn't it PSX, or was it? It was sometime around then, at least, but I can't remember exactly where. But it was
Actually,
that
I
initial
think it
show.
was at. I think we've seen it multiple times, but I think it was announced at Paris Games Week when Ghost of Tsushima was announced.
You're right.
So
you're
it's
right,
been
you're
a
right.
while.
Yeah,
So
you're right.
this is one of those games where if I hear it's good, and especially since it's you're seeing a smaller, cheaper game, I'll pick it up at some point probably.
It looks like a kind of charming, cool little like
Artsy
and
game.
the concept's really cool. With,
Yeah.
like
Okay.
I don't know. You just go watch it.
Yeah.
Anyone like
Art
listening,
style,
just go watch
but
the
you would know what they're
trailer.
doing with the stuff looks cool. So yeah, if it comes out and it's good, I would probably end up just picking it up at some point.
This next one seems like a Jacob game. I'm not sure. I haven't really talked to.
Control.
Yeah, this is a game that I forgot about, but it looks really great.
I think they just released a trailer for it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think there was much to it, but
Okay.
Yeah, and I think Remedy is a cool studio, and I want them all the success in the world.
yeah. This is again one of those games where it comes out and is good. Like it's piqued my interest. I can see myself getting, depending, where it comes out. So.
Yeah, and I kind of felt bad for them with what was the name of
Quantum Break.
Yeah, because it seemed like that was like doing a lot of very interesting ideas and just didn't get the sales success and like maybe wasn't quite there or whatever. But it was obvious they were trying to
solid.
push. Yeah, they were trying to push the envelope, do something interesting.
Well, I can try Quantum Break anytime I want.
Yeah, and I mean, Control that trailer is just like commanding. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This seems like something you should be excited for immediately, and like I want to know what the hell is happening.
Yeah.
Once you see that, once you saw a trailer, it made sense. Why that was one of the few third-party, the big four games in Sony's press conference. It's like, no, this makes sense. This looks good, and yeah.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for it to be a decently like tight experience, like not too long.
Yeah.
Like I'm hoping it's like
It seems that way. It seems like it's gonna be kind of a linear thing.
I think want.
Yeah.
I want.
Yeah.
And a slowly unraveling mystery.
It was like a cool little combat system and all that kind of stuff, mechanics going on. So.
Yeah.
Do you want me to put down anyone for that, Jacob?
You can put me down for that.
You can put me down for that too. I definitely.
Screw it.
I see myself
Putting them all
getting,
down.
Unless it just comes out and it's like this is really bad or something.
Yeah.
I would probably get that.
Next game, Daemon X Machina, that robot mech game from Nintendo.
Yeah. I think this is another one where the full spectrum of possibilities is open. Like this could be really cool, or it could just kind of be like,
Could be bad.
It could be repetitive and just kind of like whatever. But art style is really cool. It looks like Gravity Rush with mechs. Like it's the like almost exact Gravity Rush art style. That very cel shaded look.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. This is one of those games I could come out and be bad. I'm like, whatever. And it could be really good. I could potentially get it because on Switch it could
And
be.
it's made by at least some Armored Core people, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it has a pedigree to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed that is good.
And Switch, I feel like, is a good place
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah. Switch exclusive. Next game I am excited about, Digimon Survive.
Is this
This
which
is
one
the strategy RPG one,
Yeah,
kind of Fire
yeah,
Emblem
yeah.
ish thing with the very interesting art style. It kind of has like a little budget to it, obviously, but I think the art style looks cool. It kind of has apparently survival elements where your choices can influence how characters' fates to it.
Okay.
Which is very interesting for a Digimon game. It seems story wise, it's going to be a more mature story.
It was a very interesting take for a Digimon game. I remember, I just remember like seeing this at first and be like, I was just very surprised by it.
Yeah, it seems like Digimon can be a little more mature, in some ways, in some of their story things. Seems like this is going to go off that, and that has me really excited, especially since it's on Switch as well as everything else. So I am very excited for this game.
I like this art style.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see those.
And obviously, I love Digimon, so.
Sorry, I can't get a bigger screen, but it's almost like a Banner Saga looking art style.
Oh yeah, I see.
I can't get it really bigger. I don't know.
Right.
It's kind of
It
some character designs like kind of Persona.
This kinda like-
vibe.
isometric grid based thing, and
I mean,
then-
even just from the character designs, you can kind of tell. Oh, this is a more mature Digimon thing.
yeah. I mean, it almost seems like it's. I mean, is it a different studio that normally makes Digimon games?
As far as the team, that's probably still Namco Bandai since they own Digimon.
Yeah. Like, look at those light physics. Look at those lights.
Yeah. This is one of those games that could surprise and just be one of my favorite next year.
Yeah, and this almost looks like, I mean, kind of like Mario plus Rabbids was almost like they had an XCOM game and they're like, okay, what can we do with this? I guess Mario and Rabbids. Okay, slap that onto this good XCOM game. This almost looks like a really good, like isometric, grid-based like RPG, and then they're like, oh, what franchise? Digimon. So it could just be a really good game.
I am hyped for that game.
Yeah.
I want to hear more. I think, they confirmed it for the US, so hopefully. It's on Xbox, so why would they put it on there otherwise? Next game, Doom Eternal. I think it's one of those games that's on here that's technically not 2019, but I'm going to be shocked if it's not 2019.
Yeah, I need to finish Doom first. I have
Yeah,
to.
same.
need
But
to
I
actually
am
play.
really excited for
No, yeah.
this.
Doom Eternal was absolutely a game I will play at some point in my life.
I'm even interested because, we've said on here, I'm not too much into I don't have much experience with shooters, but this seems like kind of wacky enough, chaotic enough that I can be in.
Yeah, I think you should borrow my Doom copy and play that first. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
It might
that
also
was
be
fun.
on Xbox Game Pass. So anyway, I have the options to play it, which is fine. So next game, which is going to be in news, which we will talk about, or you people have heard it, whatever. Dreams.
Dreams. The beta exists.
One of those games that's not confirmed for next year, but if they're letting the beta out finally, it has to be planned for next year.
They even had the Game Informer cover and like big story.
It's coming next
It has
year.
to be coming.
Which I watched the. I'll say that for the news part, but
Yeah.
for the beta thing, did not get in unfortunately. But yeah, I am excited for this. I'll have I'm excited to maybe try create things. I'm not much creative, but I love like playing these kind of like creative things. Like I enjoyed playing people's stuff in Mario Maker, but this seems like that on drugs.
Steroids.
Yeah. Just with all the crazy stuff you'll be able to create, I'm excited to see like what people can come up with and everything. So excited for that. I'm just gonna go ahead and put me down as PSVR integration, which should be really cool. But of course, I'm not worried about the quality necessarily. If anything, I expect it to be good, at least, the very least.
Honestly,
it's one of those things. At the worst, it will probably may not come up to necessarily all they promise necessarily, but that's kind of worst case scenario to me, and don't necessarily believe that.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the more we go on this, obviously, Dreams has been kind of a joke at times. Just like it's just been pushed back. It was announced.
Dreams is a dream.
It was supposed to be coming so many times and everything, but the more we go with this, and the more I see about the game and hear about it and just ruminate on the concept and just Media Molecule in general, I think this game is going to be really good, and I think it's going to get better and better and better as it goes on because people are like the things that you can create. This seems like the most robust character, like level and just level game creator thing I've ever seen, and I think it's going to be really good. I would also just be absolutely shocked if it sold anywhere near what it probably needs to make its money back.
Oh, I agree.
Really
Unfortunately,
that's
that's the absolute biggest fear for this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is an artsy game for artsy people, but
Yeah.
But I do. I think this is going to be that game. Even if it crashes and burns sales wise, I think this is going to be a game 15 years from now. People are still making incredible things on it. And
I hope so.
There's going to be. I guarantee there's going to be a Dreams community that's just like very dedicated to this game.
I feel like, of course, we talked about this before. They're games I feel like they take forever, and sometimes they justify, sometimes they don't. I feel like at the end of the day, this will hopefully justify how long it took. Like you can see it when you play
I just
it.
worry about Media Molecule, especially as Sony gets bigger and bigger and is like moving on to like more and more big AAA games that see like insane sales and stuff. For Media Molecule to have they're good games, but to have gone, I mean, it's been a long time. Little Big Planet was huge for the PS3 era, but that's been a long time. And then Tearaway didn't sell very well. Tearaway Unfolded didn't sell very well. And if Dreams after taking this long also doesn't sell very well, and then you look at all the other PlayStation studios firing all cylinders with these big budget games, I worry that Media Molecule will just be on the chopping block. I'm concerned about that.
Yeah, we can hope. But I will hopefully at least get to try out that their beta, or us in general try out that beta in January when it's open to the public.
Absolutely.
Okay. We can probably rapid fire through these. I just got the list of the Final Fantasy.
Put me down.
Yeah. All of them?
No, I'm just only the first one.
Final Fantasy 7. I'm just putting me and Darby down for the Switch version. I need to play this game. I have it for multiple other things, but if I'm just being honest with myself, it being on the Switch is the way I'm personally most likely going to be able to play the whole thing.
Yeah, that would be. Yeah. You're going to play the most there. You're going to have the best time playing. And
same thing with Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, I'm going to buy Final Fantasy 7 on pretty much every platform I own. It's just that game, that one game that I'm going to have.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, I'd pick up a few of these because I think old JRPGs are great on a portable device.
Yeah, and I need to play 9 because there's one of those Final Fantasies where people bring it up as the best.
Yeah,
that like in 6 and 7.
That's what I bought it on PS3 and never made it that far into
so you're
it. So
probably gonna get on the Switch.
Decent chance.
Yeah. 10-2. Not gonna do that. I got the PS4 version. Don't.
Yep. I already played and beat the PS4 version.
So that's gonna do that. I'm gonna put myself down for 12 though.
Nice, good, Jeff.
Because I want to replay it, and obviously I've always done the thing. always thought about getting the PS4 version, but the moment that was announced, like, I'm gonna wait for the Switch version.
Yeah, absolutely. Darby really wants you to play. I really want you to play.
No, I got
7
through
and
most
12.
of it, so it's one of those things that just how things are when you're young.
Yeah,
Even have probably the guidebook still somewhere.
you should play 12 too. 12
Yeah,
really good.
I do want to.
12's actually really good.
Next game, big game for me and Darby, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Let's go.
I mean,
Let's go. I'm so stoked for this game.
I'm ready to hear more. We'll probably hear about it in a few weeks, hopefully, when there's, I assume, a Nintendo Direct.
Oh shit! I didn't plug in my computer.
Anything more we need to say about Fire Emblem Darby other than we are hyped?
No.
Other than looks great. It looks like they're using, hopefully, it being on a home console to its fullest extent, based on the little we saw. Okay.
Sorry for the panic. Yeah, no. It looks like it's taking Fire Emblem. I really think that I mean, this might not age well in these comments, but I really think this could be like a moment for Fire Emblem where it becomes like a very big, like, bona fide JRPG series, because like its console, it looks like it's like just expanding the Fire Emblem concept so much, and like kind of, I don't know.
And I expect this to be kind of Fire Emblem like Odyssey and Breath of the Wild are for Mario and Zelda, where this will be the best selling one. Like,
I really hope so.
unless it's bad, I have almost zeroed down my mind. Because here's the thing, Fire Emblem's never, yes, Fates and Awakening were hits and stuff, but they only sold like 1 million to 2 million each.
Yeah. I mean, that worries me that there just won't be much hype for this in general.
No, what I'm getting at is also, assuming they stay away from the whole waifu thing, which like they are so far.
Yeah.
That's why this just looks more like a respectable, like, I can, like, to anyone, I could,
Show
like,
it to your
recommend this
grandmother.
to, yeah.
Exactly. But I feel like because one of the things on the Switch, people will just try it out for that.
I hope
It's
so.
going to be
I
one of those
really
things that
hope
eventually
so.
people hear the good. People have more eyes on it because even when the time Fates come around, people were kind of mostly over 3DS.
Well, let's test this. Jacob, are you interested in Fire Emblem Three Houses at all?
No, but I'm not really.
There you go, Jeff.
Yeah, I've never been interested
crash
in
and
Fire
burn.
Emblem, but I mean, I'm me, so who
Yeah.
knows?
Yeah.
Okay, next game, Gears 5. It will sell well. It will view well. I don't think any of us are going to be playing it.
No.
I'm not even going to put it down for me. It's going to be on Game Pass, but I have no connection to the Gears thing.
Yeah, you're not
It's
jumping
15.
into Gears 5.
Yeah. I have the option to play another Gears game, but there's too much other stuff. I'm not going to play for all this.
Yeah, I played some of the old ones. They were fine, but I don't remember anything about them.
Okay. Next game, In the Valley of the Gods.
Go ahead and put me down.
Okay.
I mean, it's the Firewatch thing. It's Campo Santo.
Oh, right.
Like the concept of it's the like two archaeologists in Egypt, and they're like.
Have we seen anything since that game?
No, I don't think so. But Firewatch was really good. I am confident that they're gonna tell like a cool narrative, and they have to unsell me. Like, they're one of those studios that, like, as long as they're staying in that same kind of concept of that Firewatch type game, I'm all in unless they unsell me.
I'm just gonna put me down too.
I need to play Firewatch.
It's
Good
really
game.
good. Play it with Celeste. That'd be a good
Mm-hmm.
game to play. Yeah.
Yep. And luckily now, Darby, last we heard, it was PC only. We now got gaming laptops.
I might just play that on PC just because
Yeah.
that again, it'll look better. It'll look really
Yeah.
good on my laptop.
But aren't they owned by Valve now?
Yes.
Yeah. So. Okay. Next game,
which is strange, but
Indivisible.
Yeah, so this game has been in the works for a long time. It's
I'm
by
just gonna put you down.
Yeah.
You brought it up.
yeah, it is by Lab Zero. Those are the guys who made Skullgirls, an indie fighting game. This game is kind of a JRPG mixed with a fighting game, in that you have your party and you perform kind of like JRPG-like attacks, but the inputs are done like a fighting game. So, you had to physically hold block to block like a monster's attack.
Right.
And it's kind of hard to explain, and as well as, when you're watching video of it, like it's kind of hard to get. Yeah, it's hard to get what's happening. But there has been a demo on the PlayStation Store for a long time. So if you really want to see what it's like, definitely pick that up.
that's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has the same art or similar art to a Skullgirls, which is gorgeous,
Yeah, I
so
love
well
that.
animated. Really looking forward to this.
Yeah, I think this was in an Indies Direct or something at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah, it's coming to Switch.
Yeah, I think this was like a Kickstarter too, so there's a lot of eyes on this
Sweet.
for a successful Kickstarter.
Cool.
Very interesting concept.
Next game, Judgment.
Yes, I'm also really excited about this. Yeah, I mean, I've said it before. Yakuza's great.
Put me down.
I'm excited to play, a different kind of Yakuza game that is, still familiar, but different characters. Using the new engine in a better, more polished way. Looks great.
Yeah. I've talked about it before. We'll keep this long. This is just kind of like Jacob said. It's like Yakuza, but it's kind of a fresh thing. It's set in the Yakuza world and everything. So it's a good place for someone like me to jump in.
Yeah.
Without having to worry about going through potentially 7 games.
Yeah, and it looks really great. So like, I wouldn't want someone to jump into the Yakuza series on like kind of mediocre one of those games.
Yeah. And as far as sales goes, this has the potential to be maybe a quote-unquote breakout thing for the West because it includes English voice acting. So while me and Jacob may not necessarily take advantage of that, it's good for the West because I did see some comments for some people like, oh, I'll actually play this game now.
Yeah, and
like
it's cool to see, like, just with all the Yakuza ports and stuff and remakes and everything that have come out to where now, like, they have a new game that they're pushing hard enough in the West to do English voice acting, to even announce the English voice acting and the release date at Kind of Funny's thing. It just seems like, even though I'm sure it's going to be like, I hope their expectations are smaller, but it's obvious they're pushing for an American, latching on to Judgment, which I think is smart, and I think this could be a very good springboard onto you play this, and it's like, oh, now I think I'll check out all those Yakuza games. Let me see where I should start. Oh, Zero. Just released. Let's go do that. Yeah. So.
Okay, next game, Luigi's Mansion 3.
I look at you, I just figure you're probably the most likely.
I am the most likely, but it's one of those games I have interest in. I do, gonna want to play it and stuff, but this game, as of right now, need to steam more. Is as far as me getting it, greatly depends on how good it is, of course, and when it comes out and what comes out around it.
Yeah. So it's just, again, this is another one of those where it's like, Luigi's Mansion came out a long time ago. At the time, it was really cool and everything. But now, will the concept be as novel? Will it be, I'm sure it'll be cute and everything, but will it?
The fact that it's at least decent. It's not it's one of those Switch games we're surprised like it still have that much.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
It could be.
We will see.
Could be.
Okay, keeping with, I guess, Nintendo exclusives, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
Yeah, didn't you say you played some of the older Marvel? Alliance
I
games,
mean,
right?
they're fun if you play with someone who is a big Marvel fan, but I'm not that, so I'm probably not going to play this like on my own.
Yeah. Playing with Will would be fun.
Yeah,
but Will doesn't have a Switch.
He's probably not getting a Switch.
Not getting a Switch, so that sucks.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say unless it turns out really good and we're just really aching for a kind of multiplayer game like this, we're probably not getting it.
Probably not. I think this is mostly for the people who have a history.
Yeah,
with this too.
Definitely.
And younger kids or whatever, they get them into this series. Which, hey, multiplayer Marvel game, let's go. Yeah.
But in general, I am happy it's happening though. It's a very big deal for Nintendo to have a Marvel.
And people have been wanting this sequel to happen for a while. So, really cool.
Made by Team Ninja, which is very weird.
Yeah. Next game, Medieval. The Medieval remake. Put me down.
Depending on price.
Yeah, that really depends on price and how good it looks good. Obviously it's not going to be the most perfect thing. It might feel a little dated, but price will be very important.
Yeah,
in fact, no more than 30.
I would hope. Yeah.
And that's on the high end. I'm hoping like 2025.
I mean, I could see 40, but I'm hoping not.
Yeah.
Judging by some of the other remakes and like. This is the Crash Insane Trilogy style of remake. Like they're really redoing everything like that.
And Spyro too.
And Spyro, yeah. Which I'm happy that all this is happening. Where they're treating these remakes very seriously. Like that we're like really.
Speaking of those remakes, I just went ahead and I got Crash Insane Trilogy on Switch.
Oh, okay.
It was on sale. I had some credits, so I got it for a good price. Nice. Haven't really played it yet, but I'm excited to get in there.
I would if I didn't pick up the Spyro trilogy, I'd be surprised if I picked up Medieval, but we'll see. We'll see.
We will see indeed. Next game, Metroid Prime 4. One of those games we're not completely sure who's coming out this year, but it feels like it. It feels like it is.
Yeah. I can't obviously can't really say put me down for it because like we know nothing. We've seen nothing more than a JPEG. But
and we have less connection to it because you haven't played any of the Prime games.
I played the one on Wii, but only like a quarter of it at most.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I know I played Prime 1. I'm pretty sure I beat that. But other than that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
so.
I didn't know what was going on or what I was doing for a lot of that Wii.
Yeah, honestly, it's weird. If a lot of our chance of this getting this increases if they announce a Prime trilogy.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it's one of those that, like, if this is like really modernized and has some cool hook to it, I could see me being all over this. Just because I know those games are really cool and they're kind of the first-person shooter, but it's also very puzzle-based. And there's a lot of like, I mean, like playing that Wii one, there's a lot of. It's surprising, kind of, that that's a Nintendo game in some ways. Because I was playing it, it's like there's a lot of like just. The game doesn't tell you much, and a lot of it's just this like weird, almost horror, like subtle horror vibes. You're like going through this alien planet. The game starts and you just land on this alien planet, and it's just like you know nothing. You're just walking around.
It's like a first-person like shooter Metroidvania.
Okay, yeah.
And things are like poisoning you and like attacking you, and it's like, what am I doing here? This is really freaky and stuff. It's like, yeah, it's very, in hindsight, very surprising that's a Nintendo game. So I kind of hope they go more for that kind of vibe,
right?
Like making it something interesting. Yeah,
they'll try to get that, Metroid Prime vibe.
yeah.
So yeah, that I expect that to probably review well. I mean, unless they really.
I hope so. Again, we're just so like stumbling around in the dark right now because we just
hopefully
don't know.
see it for the next month. Next game, I'm going to put me and you down for Darby. Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yes. You need to play Ori.
I do.
Do you have a PC that could play Ori?
It'd be stretching it, but maybe.
I mean, when I played Ori on my old laptop, it chugged and almost died. But like
Ori, just this past week, the original one was added to Game Pass. Let's go.
Oh, yes.
It's definitely like a series or a game that like I want to play. I just don't have the means to.
Yeah. That was the one. Like I didn't play like any games on my old laptop. It sucked. But like, that was the one I was like, I'm going to do it. I got to push through. I got to do it because just the art style was so cool. And I was so glad I did. The music, I still listen to the soundtrack like almost weekly. Like it's so good. And I am so beyond stoked for Will of the Wisps.
And again, Game Pass, baby.
Yeah, that's such a win.
That's one of those games like, oh, this justifies Game Pass with this price I got it for. Okay, next game, The Outer Worlds. Outer World. I can never remember if it has an S or not.
Yeah, I forget it too. Outer Worlds.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for this. I mean, we haven't really seen a whole lot of it, but
as we discussed last week, it's one of those games which could be, if it as good as the trailer made it seem, and it reaches potential, this could be like the surprise hit of next year.
Yeah,
one of those games we talk like at the end of the year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I think the ceiling for this game is astronomical, just because. That was the Obsidian announcement that I don't think any of us were really expecting, but it was the one we all kind of wanted secretly.
Yeah,
like, we're like, we want that New Vegas vibe with this. I just thought that we were going to get more of an old school RPG.
Good timing for them considering how Fallout 76 was received.
Such good timing, and this just seems like Obsidian with that style of game with the shackles off. They can just kind of go and do what they want with it. And yeah, obviously we don't know a whole lot yet, but from what I've seen, I am like that trailer just did a very good job of like I am like ears up listening for
definitely on board.
And I expected it to sell well. Again, if it lives up to its gameplay potential, if people hear it's good, then yes. And this is not a confirmed thing. This is just I'm just gonna assume here. I assume it's gonna have like a decent Microsoft marketing push. Just because it's not their game, but it is their studio now.
Yeah.
So this game doing well just reflects good on them.
I bet if there's any TV spots or anything like that, it's going to be
Xbox. I'm getting at if it's I assume this we're going to hear about this at Xbox's E3 conference.
Oh yeah,
certainly. Yeah.
And not just because Sony's not there, just
right. So like I can't really put me down for it because we just don't know enough, but. Very close to being down for it, yeah.
I agree. Next game, Pokémon 2019, Gen 8, baby.
Yeah, the real one, Jeff.
The real one. I'm excited for this. It's a new gen. It's a new Pokemon. That's at least enough to get me, kind of excited.
And it's going to be on Switch.
It's going to be on Switch, so it's going to be, I guess, my first
console.
Console regular mainline Pokemon game.
If you haven't watched our podcast before, Jeff's not a huge Let's Go fan.
Nope. But you know, and they've said, and I'm kind of in a way I'll believe it when I see it kind of thing. They're not gonna. They said it's gonna be more mainline, not necessarily Let's Go. I'm afraid they're gonna put some of the stuff I do not care for Let's Go in there.
Yeah,
it's always gonna have that thing. But a lot of the stuff that you think would carry over, like Pokemon falling behind you, Pokemon being in the overworld, stuff like that, are the kind of things I'm okay with, and the changes are fine.
Yeah, I think generally you were fine. I mean, the things that were a problem for you with Let's Go was, the core mechanics and the core.
The problem they had with Let's Go that came down to, well, the fact is Kanto again. I could have gotten over that, but even before the game was announced what it was, Darby can vouch for me. I was down on that idea anyway. Mm-hmm. The Pokemon Go catching mechanics, which will soon would definitely not be here, and just how piss easy the game seems to be.
Right.
Yeah.
Which Pokemon games had a problem with anyway, but this took it to the extreme, so I'm hoping they go maybe the opposite direction for this one.
Yeah, but I think a lot of the other stuff like that, like, having the 3D environment that you can walk around there, having, your Pokemon exist with you in the main world, there's more things to do with them. I think that would be very cool.
Yep.
I'm very, the biggest thing I'm interested in this, because, I honestly think that this one, I honestly don't think you really have, I might be wrong, but I don't think you have that much to worry about with this one. I think the biggest thing you have to worry about is just them not advancing very much in Pokemon in general.
I've said this before. A lot of my fears for Let's Go were first mechanics were where it going and affecting future games a lot more than I want them to.
Right. Yeah. The thing that I'm the most interested in is the art style for this, because if it has just basically a 3DS art style in here, that's gonna be a big bummer. I would feel wouldn't it be? It needs to be.
Yeah, I feel like
something at least.
I feel like I didn't express that when we talked about Let's Go, because I had a lot of other problems with it. I'm not the biggest fan of Let's Go art style. It feels kind of sterile.
Yeah, mm-hmm. It's a little.
A lot of people are a lot more higher on it and say this is what I've always dreamed of. I'm like, really?
It's a little closer than the 3DS, but it's still just, it lacks personality. We've talked about them looking a little plasticky and lifeless.
Part of me hopes it's because it's it's trying to appeal to the kids a little more than other Pokemon games have, and it is their first time doing the console thing and all that, and they pretty much remade Kanto square for square. So I'm hoping part of it is Kanto's basic.
Yeah.
What if it became like a Dragon Quest 11, looking style game?
Jacob.
That'd be so awesome. I'd be on board.
Don't put that in my head. It's not happening.
It's definitely not happening, but that'd be great.
That'd be the dream.
I'd pick it up if that was
so we can all say that what we want is Detective Pikachu, the movie art style.
Yeah.
Everyone's just very furry and strange.
Hyper realistic.
Okay, we got a couple more games. Let's go. Psychonauts 2. I have interest in this. I need to play.
Jeff, you're spending a lot of money this year.
I am. And Darby, this is only what we know about.
I have 3 games on here that I'd put for buy, I think.
Yeah. So,
but anyway, go.
Yeah, I'm not going to get to all these games, obviously, especially, again, we don't even know what's all coming out. Nintendo hasn't announced much of anything, and, all those indies and PSVR games, whatever. But, yeah, Psychonauts 2 I'm interested in. I need to play Psychonauts 1. I have it, I think, multiple ways or whatever. I know I got it at least from Twitch. But I'm excited. It feels like my kind of, 3D platformer.
Yeah, I like Tim Schafer, and I do want to play Psychonauts, but I'm not, sold on this.
Yeah. So I'll look into it. Skull and Bones.
No.
Yeah. It will be one of those games. It's a Ubisoft game that will sell. Next game, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
We know nothing.
We know
so I
can't,
nothing. I say move on because we know literally
nothing. Will probably sell a lot. Twin Mirror.
No, it has an interesting concept, but from what I've seen of this game, it just looks bad and hokey.
It looks like it's going to be like every other Don't Nod non-Life is Strange game.
Yeah.
It's kind of okay at best.
Yeah, forgettable.
It has some kind of problems. Vampire cool ideas, but everything I've seen, it's it didn't deliver on everything.
Yeah.
So, okay. Welcome to Animal Crossing or Animal Crossing, whatever.
Yeah, I was about to say, I thought Welcome to Animal Crossing was just like what they said in the title. The thing I didn't know.
I don't know.
that was
This is
the
what
actual
I had
title.
on there. I guess I don't know. If that's
It might be. I might have read.
Yeah.
I might be wrong, but
I think they always have to Welcome to, but everyone just calls it Animal Crossing. But whatever.
No.
I partly did it so we just had a big game close to the end.
yeah, this is. I don't think this is any of our thing.
Well,
Am I right?
actually, I would like to try out Animal
Okay,
Crossing. I think
yeah.
I'd like it, but
Nice.
I don't. We haven't seen much of this. So.
We
I can
haven't
see
seen
you
any
and
of
Celeste
it.
getting into it and having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Animal Crossing is one of those kind of like Stardew Valley and a lot of these other ones. Like, I respect them a lot, and I know that they're like really fun games for those people. It's just one of those things that just my brain does not compute with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Doesn't hold your interest.
right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that with those games, it either does or it doesn't. And there's just some people like no matter how much like I even bought Stardew Valley just because the story of how Stardew Valley got made is just so incredible, and I just wanted to support that guy and everything, and I wanted to like see some of it. And it's one of those like it's a really 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 good game that I am so bored playing like a lot of
yeah.
times. And it's just one of those things. That,
Well, Darby, it's good you tried. I mean, I don't think you were good at Animal Crossing anyway. Good thing you try out the cheaper version of it before even considering Animal Crossing.
and I don't regret it because again, Stardew Valley is
Yeah.
insanely well made. game.
Again, the Animal Crossing is going to be great. It's going to sell butt notes.
Yeah.
It's going to sell Switches. That's a confirmed thing. But yeah, you won't hear much opinions from us probably. Last game, keeping with Nintendo, Yoshi's Crafted World. So I'm probably not getting this game. It's much. It looks jolly, but there's too many games, man.
Yeah.
Too many games.
Yeah,
for that
it's
kind of thing.
cute,
It was
but-
the same thing with Kirby this year.
But so this falls into that Kirby thing where it's like I think it's obviously for a way lower age demographic. It doesn't quite have the adult like a lot of Nintendo games are good for kids and adults. This and Kirby both are kind of like a little more skewed towards the
Yeah,
kids.
or adults who kind of want this more laid back kind of platform.
Not that adults can't play them. I'm just saying it's a little more.
Yep, I expect this to probably be like Kirby and maybe sell more. We'll be surprised about how much it sells potentially. I'm sure it'll be a fine game. The art style is really good.
This is a strange game for Nintendo, just in the fact that I like it was announced a long time ago.
It was announced at E3 2017.
It's just usually these games
Come out a lot quicker. Like it was announced with Kirby and stuff.
Not that that's
Like,
the biggest problem. I don't think there's anything bad. I think that was just a time in Nintendo's like announcement period where they felt like they had to announce more things because the Switch was out.
Based on like their stuff at the time, I felt like they intended on Yoshi coming out a lot sooner than it is.
Probably.
But it's just maybe something a little went wrong.
Yeah.
And it wasn't a bad thing. I feel like they felt out their release schedule fine enough. I don't think Yoshi would really changed anything if it was inserted in there. Like
No, I
people's
don't think so
opinions
either.
on it. So I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's it for all the games.
I
So
agree.
we could talk about our top 5 games we could do.
Yeah,
We
let's
can kind of list.
As we were going through this, I think I might break this into 2 parts. This whole thing, and because we might just not have a podcast next week because New Year's and everything. So
Yeah.
Oh no! I thought about that as like at some point, it's like, oh, this is going long. It's like,
we'll have 2019 part 2 next.
well, it's kind of I was kind of thinking like, well, as we were going, it's like this is going long at this point. So it's like we might as well just keep on going at the pace we're going
Let's
because
just
it's gonna be
go.
long anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Well,
do what we're doing.
Yeah, and I gotta head out, unfortunately.
Right now.
Right now.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. What is your most anticipated game? Is it Resident Evil 2?
Just
Yeah, RE2 followed by Sekiro, and then after that, who knows? We'll see.
Something else.
Something
It just
else.
depends.
Something
Yeah.
else.
Probably
All right.
probably Devil May Cry.
Yeah. Nice.
And yeah.
good call.
Yeah.
Good call. Okay. Hello, Jeff.
Hello, Darby.
We are back.
Maybe or this is the beginning. I don't know.
Jacob's
Hi,
not.
I'm Jeff. He's Darby.
We've done so much time traveling, Jeff. I don't know what's going on anymore.
And the thing is, what we're gonna record after this is probably what people would be hearing first.
yes, this is like the most jumbled we've ever been.
Yeah.
Good luck, Darby, in the editing process. But
Yes.
we are we're gonna talk about we're gonna list our top 5 anticipated games of 2019.
Yes. I feel like there should maybe be some, things to let you people know before we do this. I'm not going to speak for Darby. I think we talked about it. He's kind of on the same boat I am. We're not including games like The Last of Us Part 2 and like Ghost of Tsushima and those kind of games, which could come out in 2019 and probably surely would make our list if they were confirmed. But since they're not confirmed in 2019, we're not including.
Yeah, we're just talking about games that have at least had a 2019 announcement with it, just
Yeah.
to try to avoid us having like 3 different games that end up being 2020 games. You know,
Yeah.
inevitably some of these probably will, but we're just focusing on what's confirmed for 2019.
Looking at my list, I think I'm pretty good as far as that goes. No Kingdom Hearts situation.
It was so funny going back last year. It's like my number 1, Kingdom Hearts 3. I'm like, flash forward to 2019, my number 1. All right, you want to start us off with your number 5?
Actually going to do a number 6 thing, just kind of honorable mention.
Yeah,
Just because my number 1's obvious, I'm just going to add a little.
I'm just kidding. You can do what you want. This is our podcast. The police can't catch us here, Jeff.
I'm trying to think which one I want to do with this. I'll do this. I'm going to do Resident Evil 2.
Hey.
Just kind of... I was thinking putting it in my top 5. I don't even know why I'm so excited for this game as I am and want to play this. Because, again, I haven't really played much Resident Evil. Mm-hmm. I need to play a remake, but I don't know. Something about...
It's Huber.
It probably is Huber, but... Well, it hasn't worked on Shenmue, so... Not completely Huber. But the trailers have been great. The gameplay I've seen is fantastic. I just, for whatever reason, really want to play this game.
That's understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really cool, and I think this is a jumping on point for Resident Evil, and it's like what everyone considers to be like the best one.
Yeah.
And especially, I feel like the horror, that kind of like slower paced horror vibe would fit you more than like even the Resident Evil 4, you know, more action. So
yeah.
Get that.
So
Get that.
I am excited for that. I need to play a remake though. I need to put that on my schedule.
Okay. Well, that was your number 6. What's your number 5? The
Okay.
real thing we're doing.
The real thing. I'm going to do. Let's see. I'll go with Jump Force.
Oh wow, that's pretty low.
Yeah.
Let's see what the other ones are.
I don't think it'll be that surprising once we get to them. But for Jump Force, as I said it before, I am a sucker for crossovers, Darby.
Yes.
The art style for this game is not the best. Some characters look. I mean, let's be honest, look bad. Some of them look better than others. It just really depends. Some of the characters, even if you look 2 different shots, they look. Sometimes they look good.
But I mean, this is like the fun side of fan service. It's
Yeah,
like
the
fan
gameplay
service
is not
in a
going to
fun
be
way.
great. It's the story mode may not even be great, but I'm going to have fun with it, man.
We all know what
I'm going to have fun using Yu-Gi-Moto from Yu-Gi-Oh, using his trading cards to beat up Goku.
Yes. And I feel like this game, just with how much is being pushed, especially in the West and everything, it kind of feels like I could see this being like more balanced than some of the other games like this. You know, like I see it being like more balanced than J-Stars and even some of those Dragon Ball games we played where the monkeys can just kill you in 2
Well,
hits.
unless I used to say for Gogeta. You couldn't beat me with that.
Yeah, it's impossible. Yeah, what? Cool. I'm excited. That's another one just like Kingdom Hearts 3. I have no interest in, but I'm very excited for other people. It's like,
Yeah,
it's a
after
hype
this year they do the roster, especially since they've already announced 9 DLC characters they're going to have.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Are they all paid DLC?
Oh, yeah. I'm probably going to get the special edition, which has the just partly because I can get 20% off that, so less on the season pass with the Best Buy thing while I still can, where it comes with the season pass and all that, and I think other couple goodies. You get the game a couple days early, like
Yeah.
and you get the DLC characters a couple days early as well. So
It's weird how this is. This is tangents is part of this podcast, but I feel like there's a lot of game types have like adopted we're gonna give you a boatload of DLC and expanded content for free, and that's what a lot of them does. Fighting games have not done that. Fighting games are very, very much not in that case. Like Mortal Kombat's already like all these DLC packs, and Soul Calibur is like, oh, there's a character in the beta that you have to pay for. It's like, yikes, man, this is just.
No, I hear. I think part of the reason, and of course, is the case. Like this is not an always thing. It's just case by case basis. But generally speaking, I think for fighting games, part of it is they don't usually have microtransactions for other things to justify paying later on. So that's how they do it. I mean, an example of one that don't have microtransactions and still do free content is Splatoon 2, but that's an oddity.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Like Splatoon, Overwatch. There's a bunch
but
of these.
Overwatch
games
has
that
loot
does
boxes.
this. Yeah, that's true. But I also tangent continues. But when I was looking at the like Steam Winter Sale thing, I was like writing something for Twinfinite. I realized just how like cash grabby and kind of icky Street Fighter V is.
Yeah.
like, dear God, there's just so many, like, you can buy, like, so many things you have to buy if you want to get, like, all the characters and stages, and it's so grindy and just kind of, like, nickel and dimes you every step of the way.
Here are thoughts that we don't completely know about on the news early, because we're going to talk about the ads thing later.
Oh, right.
Or earlier. I don't know, man.
Yeah, they probably
Time travel.
that. Anyway.
What's your number 5, Darby? I'm actually curious. There's only like one game I can think of for sure I know it's on your list.
Well, and I did this kind of on the fly just
while we
now.
while we were talking, it's like, oh yeah, I am excited for the game. We're kind of talking it out.
Yeah, so please, like, let me know if I'm just missing something obvious, because I was kind of just scanning through all these.
Okay.
Because I might be missing obvious things. And now I just saw.
Now, that's why I had to look through this list again, but I'm pretty sure about my...
I'm gonna stick with it.
Okay.
All right, my number 6, or I'll say the two that I was like fighting between. My number 6 honorable mention is Metro Exodus.
Okay.
Very interested in that game. Like I said, very good chance I'd buy it if it's good, and if there's nothing else out of the way, very interested in it. But my number 5 is gonna be Control.
Nice.
Because the more I think about this game, and I've watched that trailer a few more times, I'm just intrigued.
Control is one of those games I was considering for my list, but there are a lot of games like Control where I was like, I'm interested in this game. I might probably get it, but the ones on my list, as we'll get to, are more known quantities from your ones, or like I know I'm getting and excited for.
Yeah, and that's the Control is just kind of more the wild card. It's not some established.
I mean,
thing.
if you look back to our list at least my list last year, I had Kingdom Hearts, which Dragon Quest, Spider-Man, A Way Out, and Dragon Ball FighterZ was my list. Not in that exact order.
Right.
None of those are in like my top 3 or 4 games of the year, and like because it's interesting.
And it's not because those games were bad. This is just because there's
like some of them may not even make my top 10.
Well, and that's what's so cool about the gaming industry now is like, a Celeste will come out of nowhere.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, indie games will come out. Nintendo usually keeps their like Smash Bros wasn't even announced when we did this list, so there's gonna be stuff like that. And there will be games like God of War and Red Dead, which God of War was in. It like barely didn't make my list, but there'll be games like Red Dead, which I knew about, but I didn't didn't even think I was gonna buy until like right before, and I played and I love. So big stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, what's your number 4?
Number 4, I am going to go with Pokemon 2019.
Hey. Okay.
Like, when we talk about going down the list, I guess I'll reiterate some of it. I am excited for this. It's not going to be going back to Kanto, which, again, was a big kind of negative thing for me. I like nostalgia, but I don't need the whole game to be a nostalgia fest.
Yeah, and especially when you've revisited it several times. Pokemon's gone to the nostalgia well so much. The whole game is already kind of going on nostalgia. We might as well see some
Darby, I've said it before. 5 out of the 7 gens up to this point have gone to Kanto.
Yeah, so why is it such a big event that we're going back to Kanto anymore? It seems like that should be overdone at this point.
Get it. I can get it if you're you're a Pokemon fan that hasn't been playing for a long time. Potentially.
I guess there are a lot of those, but the games have also sold.
But there are plenty of people that have been playing them that are excited for it, and I'm just like, okay.
Anyway,
but I'm excited for it because new Pokemon I always just love seeing new Pokemon. I love traveling around with the new Pokemon. Like, if Let's Go, a lot of it was the same, but it was a new region, a new Pokemon, I might have reluctantly bought it, but... Yeah. This seems like it will be a more normal Pokemon game. They should not be any of those Let's Go mechanics, please no. And it would hopefully at least be somewhat more difficult, at least some challenge to it, or at least I can Nuzlocke it.
Yeah, and at least from the outside looking in, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like with Sun and Moon, like that was kind of one of the more adventurous ones they've done, where it's just like the island aesthetic was very different, and like the gym, it wasn't gyms anymore.
Yeah,
right?
it was you do island challenges, you battle kahunas and stuff, and it had more of a story. The story was okay, and this is the thing I kind of hate. There are a lot of people that hate the story. Like in the beginning, there was, people talk about there's a dialogue in the beginning, so they hated it. It took a while before they get the trainer, so people hated like them there actually being a story, which I hate. So for some people, Let's Go not having really much of a story was a breath of fresh air. I'm like, oh no. Pokemon could be so much more.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for it. I'm going to at least have a lot of fun.
Pokemon is an interesting series because it almost is like hampered by its own popularity.
Yep. And I've been wrestling in my mind about how I want to cover like Pokemon announcements for the podcast, seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm debating, and we'll talk about it when it happens, when they start releasing Pokemon, just doing a fun thing of maybe hopefully you not seeing the Pokemon, and I just show it, and we just see your reaction on the podcast, and maybe you try to guess names when they're silly.
That's been pretty good in our Nuzlocke. You can't see my reactions, but you just hear me go, "What the hell is that?"
I've been further with that if you think that's a good idea potentially.
Yeah, absolutely. Use me as just the
be fun.
the ignorant guy who knows nothing.
Hopefully, I'll be excited.
My number 4. This definitely wasn't the case a little bit ago, but as I said, my excitement's growing. Devil May Cry 5.
Yes.
I'm getting again.
I felt like that was gonna happen.
Every single time I see, I think it's just one of these that we needed to get closer. It needed to become more imminent. But every time I see it, I'm just like, and like I'm getting more and more where like I'm in the mood for that, for just the, and I think it's gonna line up pretty well for when it releases for me to be in the mood for a experience like that, just going through hacking and slashing everything, the awesome animations, and just I don't know. The game is like a hell of a ride. It looks just crazy.
Oh, I don't want to call you on the spot on the podcast, but do you want to potentially this upcoming week I bring over my Xbox? We do let's play of you playing.
Absolutely, Christmas week playing Devil May Cry 5. That sounds pretty.
Yeah. I'm not sure how big the demo is, but we'll see. Yeah, I'll probably try it out beforehand just to see.
Yeah,
and me to try it out.
We have lots of other things we can do too. So
yeah.
So pretty stoked. Stoked.
Okay, so that'll be exciting. That's one of Jacob's top games as well. He pretty much said a top 5. I'll try to name it right here. I think he did 4. Resident Evil, Sekiro, Devil May Cry, and Judgment were the ones he named specifically.
Yep. Good list.
My number 3, which I keep on forgetting about because we haven't heard much, but the more I think about it, the more excited I am. Digimon Survive.
Yeah, dude.
Digimon, so it's weird. It's like I'm a kid again. The 3 games I've named other than Resident Evil are a Shonen Jump game, a Pokemon game, and a Digimon game.
Feels good, man.
Feels good, man. Living a good time. But yeah, I'm excited for this game because the gameplay style is something that appeals to me. The kind of grid-based strategy RPG stuff. I enjoy that. And Digimon games have been good, recently, just from a gameplay perspective, beyond the whole Digimon thing. The Cyber Sleuth games have been really well received. I don't think it's the same team, but just have the same thing of, it's Digimon, so you'll like it.
Yeah.
The gameplay has backed it up some. Just
from the outside, this looks like something that could be like one of these where I could already see like the Kotaku article where it's like, yo, this game is actually like surprisingly really good.
I mean, it seems like based on what we know, the little details we have and everything, this is going to be a more mature Digimon story just based on just the character designs, the mood, the atmosphere, the fact they've said your choices. I think they even use this determining like characters surviving and stuff.
Yeah, and just like, just the art style in general, like with the almost Banner Saga-esque, like it looks like a painting kind of. It looks very interesting, and then the almost like visual novel type stuff there, and like that's kind of where I keep on forgetting. Like they said, it's a mixture of the strategy RPG and visual novel stuff, which appeals to me. Could be very interesting, and like it makes me think that there's a bigger focus on like story and everything, and Digimon always gets laughed at just because, it's like... it's a Pokemon. It's like digital Pokemon thing or whatever like that. But, like, I know that the anime and everything else from it has always, like, been surprisingly deep with story. And Pokemon's great and everything, but the story's awful. Digimon is, if you've listened to this, I am a big fan of both. Generally speaking, the Digimon animes have been better. Yeah. I mean, the Pokemon anime is not good. It's just nostalgic, which is great. It's great. Some of it's great. That's the Sun and Moon is pretty good. Okay, yeah. I'm just talking about the OG one. That's the only one I've seen. It's fun. It's a good kids show, but did I say Sun? Well, Sun and Moon seems to be good. I mean, X and Y. X and Y has some good stuff going on. Okay. Disappointing ending, but My number 3, Tales of Vesperia. Jeff, I'm so excited. I really some of my favorite gaming memories was playing Zillia and Zillia 2 with you. Yeah. And then the 10 hours we played of Vesperia seems like, the story might even be better there. I don't know. Like the gameplay, I think the whole gameplay experience, I'm going to probably prefer Zillia 2 just because it's more modern. But Vesperia is definitely still really solid and the story is very interesting. And it was something about playing like a JRPG that's very much a JRPG like the ones I've played before, but doing it multiplayer. It's just an experience that maybe I'm just ignorant to a lot of other things, but I feel like that's pretty unique. Like, I don't feel like that's a thing, or at least it doesn't work that well. Where it's like, it was a.
You hear Troy Baker?
Troy Baker, young Troy Baker.
Yep. Yeah, the only main downside for that game is going to be the fact that not nearly as much of it compared to other games are voice acted.
Yes, which we got spoiled with. But.
Yeah. So, yep, I'm excited for this. Didn't make my top 5 list, but I'm definitely excited.
But also, it's a game that you've played all the way through before. For me, it's like this is pretty much a new game.
Yep. Though it is exciting the fact we have 2 new party members. One was in the original game, another one's it's a brand new character.
Brand new
little pirate girl. Okay, my number 2, which I imagine is gonna be one of your final 2, Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Heck yeah. I will announce that my number 2 is also Fire Emblem Three Houses.
So yeah, we can talk about that. It's we've said we haven't seen much. We've only seen the E3 trailer, but we're really excited for this. We liked everything we saw. We liked that it seems so far to be lack of the pandering to the waifu culture.
I mean, I didn't think about this until now, but this is kind of the polar opposite of Pokemon coming to console. This is Fire Emblem coming to console, and this actually looks like what I would want from the improvements of Fire Emblem.
Coming back to console, baby.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it still at least hasn't been there for a very long time. And yeah, I mean, like I really don't want to overhype this game. I really hope it ends up living up to hype because my expectations are very high just from the E3 thing. But I mean, again, the lack of like waifu pandering that became such a problem in Awakening and Fates.
Yeah. And
the grid-based combat, like involving like full armies and everything. It looks like they're doing a lot of different interesting stuff there. It just seems more mature. It seems like there's just a lot of like little things that, again, like I've said a bunch of times, I feel like it's going to make this feel like the definitive Fire Emblem.
I agree. I just had a thought. I wonder if, again, we've only seen that trailer, but things are good so far for the waifu pandering stuff. I wonder if their strategy might be to help sell Fire Emblem as much as it can, make the most money off the series, is keep the mainline games pure so it doesn't scare people away. And a lot of those people, Fire Emblem fans, will come no matter what, but save that pandering stuff for Fire Emblem Heroes, where they have the swimsuit stuff. Take the characters from the houses and then put them in swimsuits and Heroes.
Man, if I'd never have to see it, that's fine with me. It's just like you can go to your like filthy corner over there in Heroes, and I can enjoy my pure Fire Emblem.
Darby, we could have that in the next couple months. Could be by April as far as
I'm pretty excited.
May. I imagine we'll be by June unless it gets pushed back. But okay, well, I'll get my number 1 out of the way. Kingdom Hearts 3. It's obvious. Come on.
2 years in a row. 2 years running.
2 years in a row, baby. But we get it in about a month.
Yeah. This time it's a lot more of a thing than it was last year.
If it got pushed back, I'm going to be like, what's wrong? It's already gone gold and all that stuff. Someone actually was able to steal a copy.
Someone hacked in and deleted the entire game. It's gone.
Yeah, so
yeah,
it is happening. You will hear me talk about it a lot in a month's time.
Yep, so more Kingdom Hearts talk coming for sure.
Well, Darby, I'm curious about your number 1. I'm looking for this list, and nothing's pointing out as obvious to me unless I'm stupid.
It's going to be obvious once I say it.
Okay.
Ori and the Will of the Wisps. It's this game. I am so like Ori and the Blind Forest is one of my favorite games.
There's too many games on this list that's like
there absolutely is.
I know at some points like I know Ori's gonna be on the list, but kind of forgot about it to this point.
No, it's easy to forget. This list is absurd.
Yeah.
You've heard me like gush about this game. It's like the Metroidvania type thing or like 2D platformer done in my opinion like. At least for me, one of the best ways where it's hard, but not so hard that it punishes you out of it. You always know what you did wrong. The abilities like scale in amazing ways. And first and foremost, that art style and soundtrack is just phenomenal. And I have no reason to believe that after the success of Ori and the Blind Forest, that this game is going to have a bigger budget and more time to cook, and just it's going to be good.
Indeed. Yeah, that's one of those games. Not on my list. I haven't played the first story, but one of those that, as long as I get around to it, will probably be pretty high up on my end of year list.
Yeah, you'll absolutely love that game.
I agree. There are plenty of games like that on this that we talked about that I'm saying I'm probably going to get that will probably be higher than at least a couple of these games I have on my list.
Yeah.
Again, God of War and Red Dead and Celeste and Smash Bros. Were on my list last year. Now look at
That's crazy.
And Astrobot.
All right, Jeff. Now we have this unwieldy 2-hour thing. We have to go record the other part of it. But I guess this might be I'm going to record this like it's the end. We apologize. It's Christmas. We don't know what we're doing. Everything's out of order. It's chaotic. But thank you so much for watching.
Yep.
Make sure you check out all of our stuff. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays and a Happy New Year.
Let us know what games you're looking forward to most next year.
Yes.
And tell me why it's Kingdom Hearts 3.
Absolutely. Oh, and also we here at Nerds at Large, we do our Game of the Year and just 2018 in review stuff in January after the full year is over. We just don't want to do it. A lot of places do it in December, but
some people did it like a week or two ago. I'm like,
I just want the year to be able to be over, and then I want to look back at it. So that's
kind of funny. Recorded theirs this past week. I'm like, you guys had all Christmas break. You could play some catch up on some games. Like, I like the way Easy Allies does it.
Yeah, and Chris, I'm probably gonna be playing so many games this week. So yeah, I want
to think it's Dragon Quest.
Yeah,
and Shadow of the Colossus. I need it.
So that will be coming, and we'll have our Game of the Year and our top 10 list, and we're gonna come up with a bunch of other fun categories. Some of them serious, some of them more like funny and zany, and it'll be a good time.
Will it be a best waifu category?
Probably not. So look forward to that. I don't have too much else to. I'm so sorry about not getting the Pokemon Nuzlocke stuff out. I used to be good about getting it out weekly. There's just so much other stuff going on.
Probably need this grind to make sure I'm
gonna do it. I just can't promise that it's gonna be weekly at this point, and I'm sorry, but I'm definitely going to. That's not gonna die because I enjoy doing this. So, yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much. Bye.